because when the Russian guys, there was two of them, it was a Russian guy and a Brazilian guy. When they were shooting the enemies, just nothing was happening. It was the laggiest axis of evil I've ever been a part of.
Hi everyone, this is Voice of a Generation Alex. Welcome to the Real Gamerscore podcast. This week I am joined by the Millennial Madness, Matt.
Howdy.
And Kirby.
Hi.
Here at the Real Gamerscore podcast, we like to discuss all things Xbox, achievements, and the quality of elite controllers. This week we talk about actually playing the games we review, watching TV shows we hate, and the first annual Real Gamerscore First Members Meeting. But first, here's the song of the week. Well, if you told me there were zombies, I'd help you slay them all. Surviving each day with you, my friend. Make sure it's safe before we go to bed. Well, I was there and I saw what you did. I saw it with my own two eyes. Risked it all to save my skin. I know that was brave. I can see zombies everywhere tonight, oh no. Well, I've been waiting for the apocalypse all my life. Zombies. And I can see zombies everywhere tonight, oh no. Oh no. Well, I remember, don't worry. How could I ever forget about the first time we met? But I know the reason why your gun was trained on me, and mine was trained on you. You can't trust anyone, but I'm glad we did. Now the best team is you and me. I can see zombies everywhere tonight, oh no. Well, I've been waiting for the apocalypse all my life. Zombies. Alright, I didn't want to outdo...
You don't want to go too long, did you? Yeah.
From a few episodes ago.
Okay.
But I really wanted to just get through to the all-important part
bit
of that song.
Yeah, the part that everyone gets to. That's the part. If you're listening to that song, you can't switch it off until you hear that part.
What I've realised is there's a part before that part.
Yes.
Because as far as I was aware, it started at that part, basically.
No, it starts at the chorus.
Because there was a whole bit, I'm like, what? What is he doing? Because I knew the song, because you told me. I'm like, what is all this not... Oh, okay, here's the bit... No, there's more nonsense. What? It really threw me off. Yeah, that was sure something.
It was music.
It was butchered. It was sufficiently butchered.
Technically, there was tune and pitch, and I won't say rhythm, but
it had a beginning and a middle and an end.
The vote of confidence is very high, thank you.
Sometimes I didn't feel like we would get to the end.
Alright, well, in lieu of more roasting of my musical
do you know who likes that song? Do you know who's a big fan of that song? Patrick Bateman.
That's not my dad.
Patrick Bateman. Who? Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. He absolutely loves that song.
Yeah,
and
easy.
The prior workings of that artist.
Yeah. Although he's also a big fan of Huey Lewis and the News.
He does also like... It's almost to an extent that the book takes a really boring turn. It's a very strange book because you're super mundane for so much of it, and then he spends 3.5 to 5 pages talking about his morning ritual, which is probably like an hour of getting ready, all the products he uses, everything. And then it just slowly speeds up as it gets more graphically violent. So the transitions Like, there's less time, like a little bit of time spent on violence, and it just slowly transitions to then very little is spent on how things look and stuff, and it's just all it's a very odd transition, and it's a very good book. Great book. I did it for my Year 12 intertextual study.
And a pretty good movie, too.
That's the book review for this week, is it?
Yeah.
There you go.
American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. Great book. I don't think Alex is allowed to get it because it's banned in his state.
Yeah, no, we don't have the internet down here.
Yeah. I don't think you can import it. You have to read it online. Because, NT and ACT are the only two territories that are allowed to get it because it's an 18-plus book.
Well, Manhunt is also banned. And, well, I don't have a copy of it anymore, but I did have a copy of it for a long time. I lent it to a friend that I used to work at Safeway with, and...
What is Safeway?
He
you
quit
keep mentioning
Safeway.
it. I don't know what that is.
It's Woolworths.
Oh, okay. It's a Woolworths equivalent. All right, gotcha.
Yeah. And they changed it over to Woolworths just before I quit, but no one calls it Woolworths.
Okay.
Interesting.
Anyway, well, no one that I used to work with anyway. All right, so anyway, back on topic, the song of the week. If you have a guess for that, and you can send the guess to the Real Gamerscore account on True Achievements, you'll be entered in for a prize. We do a prize every 2 episodes, and as this is an even number episode, we have a prize to give away.
What was last week's song?
What was last week's song?
It was Take My Breath Away by Berlin.
Yes.
Very nice.
Made famous.
Any guesses for that one?
We did get many guesses.
Oh, good.
All right. And you drew a winner just before we started recording. Who's the winner?
I did draw the... I do know, yeah. Drum roll. Kingsman 26-25.
Congratulations.
26-25. Yes. So.
Kingsman, the winner.
So yeah, hit me up on Discord or True Achievements, or send me a letter, or like whatever, and I'll get your prize sorted.
All right. Well, speaking of Discord, you can join us in the Discord server that we have set up. It's the link to join us can be found at discord.io/realgamerscore. We've had a few new people in the last few weeks. It's been good to have a chat with all those people. As a friend of yours that you like to boss around in many servers, Chin?
Yeah, Super. Super's great. Super works at Blizzard.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
okay. Has he worked there long?
She.
She? Oh,
yeah.
Yes, my bad.
Yeah, one of the old guard that they tried to buy off with lots of money so that they could hire new people at lower pay rates.
Yeah.
But she said no.
I wonder if she knows Malafide, because he used to work at Blizzard as well. But I don't know how long ago that was.
Ireland I think Ireland.
Well, then
so probably
that's probably not the case. Yeah.
Yeah. She's great though.
Right.
She works on the GI team with me, and I get to boss her sometimes. And then every server I'm in, every time she joins, I'm like, God damn it, leave me alone, go away, stop following me. No, she's great.
How many servers are you in together?
I think we have 5 mutual servers.
Jeez.
This True Achievements community, they're just really incestuous.
No, she's great though. She's awesome. She works a lot harder than I do.
Her name says so.
Yeah, she works a lot harder than I do these days because I'm a manager now, and I don't have to work. That's the point, right? I worked hard to get to this spot so I could make other people work hard.
It's the Peter principle, right? You just do so well at something, and they promote you, and do well at something, and promote you until you get to something you're useless at.
Yeah, managing.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but sure.
Yeah. No, she's awesome. Just completely unrelated.
All right. Well, have fun at Blizzard then. I'm sure it's an interesting time at the moment. All right. Well, it looks like we've got a new patron here as well. Is that what I'm seeing, Chin?
No, that's the winner.
Oh, right. Okay. Of course, it's the first week of the month. I'm butchering the intro this week instead of the outro, so it's probably going to be a good outro. All right, so the Patreon draw. Of course, we have a Patreon draw for. I don't even know what the prize is. I'm just on fire right now. Chin, help me out here. I'm just floundering.
The prize is an ID at Xbox game of your choice.
Yes, of course it is. I knew that.
So pick a cheap one.
No driving essentials.
You pick driving essentials. I have funny stories about driving essentials when we get to what we've been playing. But
Oh boy.
pick that if you want. Yeah, that's great.
All right. So who is the winner this week then?
The winner for this week is... So I wrote this when I wasn't at my computer. I just wrote it on my phone. That's all of it, right? There's no more to the gamer tag, right?
That's it. Yes.
Yes,
Cool.
that's right.
It's Tatey. Yeah.
That community member that we're all so familiar with, and all we know is full gamer tag, right?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
Teddy's-
some people
Teddy's
have
from the
numbers.
UK, I think.
Teddy's great, to be fair.
100%. Some people have numbers in their gamer tag, but not on Discord. So I'm like that. I forget that.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And because then I don't need to search for the full name, like on True Achievements, I just type in the first part of their name and they'll pop up, and I'm like, oh yes, that's the picture that I recognize with the name. So I just go to that. I don't ever remember the numbers. So, like Ben L,
72.
that one, I just type in Ben L and I recognize the picture. At this point, like I don't.
He's got the motorbike, doesn't he?
The Trials bike, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
So,
so Tatey, you get in touch with Chin and you can pick your ID at Xbox game. He'll get a code for you. All right, and the random to-do list contest. So, Chin, what's happening with the random to-do list contest this week?
So the prize for the month of October was Redeemer Enhanced Edition. So the question that I wanted everyone to send in an answer to was another game with the word edition in it. And unfortunately, no one sent in a right answer because they all sent in weird ones. And I'd like 4 or 5 weeks specifically saying I wanted definitive edition. Like it needed to be definitive edition. And there are so many out there. There's there's the Age of Empire games. There's Dead Islands have definitive editions. Tomb Raider.
Sleepy Dogs is a definitive edition, right?
Sleeping Dogs have definitive edition. Like even my GTASC team that got eliminated had the name in it. That would have been valid if that was a game. The community sometimes don't listen and it's frustrating. But, look, we'll give it another week. We'll have to draw it next week and give people time to send in their answers. So, yeah, well, get your crap together, really. That's all I have to say about that. I just don't understand why people don't listen.
So it was it definitely there definitely wasn't any editing problems or anything with those episodes, right? It was very clear what you were asking for.
Those are the easiest months I've ever edited. It was just straight. I guess we'll talk about November's contest because, whatever. The prize for this month is I don't know how you say it. Alwa's Awakening. ALWA''S. Alwa's, as in the awakening of Alwa. Alwa's Awakening. So the trivia question will be another game with the word awakening in it. I think there's 4 or 5 of them, maybe 6. Very small pool. This one should be way easier. A game with the word awakening in the title. Very simple. You should all be able to figure that one out. Should be nice and easy. Also get an achievement in the random to-do list for November. We have set up a new little mini contest in collaboration with the AH101 podcast. We're running a scavenger hunt, which just basically hides the achievement name and the ratio, but the order is still maintained. So your achievement at the top is still the lowest ratio, your achievement at the bottom of the list is still the highest ratio, and you've just got to sort of unlock things to try and figure out where other ones slot in. So it's pretty interesting. If you'd like to get in on that, send me a message and I'll have to wipe your list and re-roll it completely with the new format. If halfway through the month you are doing this and you're like, this is really hard, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm giving up, let me know and I'll undo it and you can just go back to the normal page. That's perfectly fine. But get an achievement in your random to-do list in November. Send another game with the word awakening in it to the random to-do list account on trueachievements.com. Easy.
Alright. So we'll go into the news straight away. There's a bit of news happening this week. More of a public service announcement, I suppose, than news, but the Elite 2 is out. The Elite Controller 2 is out now. So, I guess I just wanted to ask you guys, either of you going to get it?
Well, no, not after hearing that I thought you were on your Elite Controller 3 or 4, Alex.
What about Chin? Yeah, Chin's on like 5 or 6. I think I'm on my 3rd now. And I actually think I'm about to send this one away because I'll talk about it now, but I'm pretty sure the right thumbstick is drifting. And I'm also pretty sure that that's because of Riddled Corpse's EX. Because I sit in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and shoot to the right.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that it wrecked my controller. And I only noticed it because I was playing Rocket League this week. And I was having a look through my settings. And I turned my dead zone, my turning or steering dead zone, all the way down. And when I was sitting directly in line with the ball was not in the center of the screen. It was like just off to the left, which if you have the default settings for the right stick when you're not moving or doing anything in Rocket League is it flicks the camera around with the right stick. So it's turned ever so slightly to the right. So I turned my dead zone up and it'll last a little bit longer. But yeah, that one will be going away. But...
Yeah. My Scorpio's got a little bit of left stick to the right. Not a huge amount, but ever so slightly to the right. Because if I drive straight at a ball, it won't be consistent, but every now and again it'll just touch me right a little bit. So
yeah, and I think for me with the ever so slight camera tilt away, like it's hard enough for me to hit the ball when the ball's in the dead center of the screen. Like if I'm boosting towards it and it's like tilting me ever so slightly away, I'm gonna miss more shots than I should. So yeah, that'll be the 4th one I get onto. But I think that, well, I hope, because I haven't heard any words about the Elite 2, but I would assume that, like with the Red Ring and any other hardware issues, that they learn from their mistakes and make them of a better quality.
Well, they're charging an extra $50 for it, so I hope the build quality is good.
What is it over there? Because I know here it's RRP 250.
Yes,
Australian
it's probably
dollars.
closer to 300 over here.
yeah,
Jeez.
I think it's 180 US, 160 pounds, Great British pounds. I think one of the big things that sort of people are finding, like the quote unquote innovation, is I think it's USB-C charging.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And
next generation.
The case
that's good.
the case that it sits in, you can plug your USB-C cable into the case, your carrying case, and charge it. So I guess if you go somewhere else and have a portable power bank, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a situation where, I guess if people take care of the controls, they put it back in the case.
Yes, usually, Chin.
Yeah,
If you spend that much on a controller, you probably take care of it.
If I was travelling somewhere...
if I'm travelling somewhere, sure.
In the case, yeah.
If I'm at home...
Otherwise, no.
If I'm
it
at
sits
home,
in the box.
no. I wouldn't bother.
No, yeah, 100%.
I don't know. Maybe I would. I'm not 100% sure. Apparently, the paddles on the back are smaller than the previous version. I'm not sure why they would have gone that way. I can't think of a reason off the top of my head why they would have made it smaller. I guess
the paddles were very big, I felt, on the first Elite controller.
I don't think... See, I don't know if smaller means they don't stick out as much or they're not as long. Because I would want them to be just as long, because if I'm having to reach further in to hit these paddles, that's extra... that's more motion than...
Yeah, I think they're just not... I think that they're in the same position, but they just don't hang down as much.
Yeah, okay, so that would... Yeah, that's acceptable.
Looks like it's 275 here. Oh, sorry, 279, so 280.
Yeah, that's...
Jeez, that is dear.
Yeah.
I remember when I got my Elite controller, paying... Well, I didn't pay $200 for it, but I got a whole lot of vouchers for JB Hi-Fi. So I got enough that I got very close to paying for the whole thing with vouchers, and just thinking, I don't know that this is worth $200. It is an excellent controller, and it is by far and away the best one that I've ever used. But $200 Australian dollars for a controller, that's a lot of money. Like, that's a third of an Xbox One X.
I'm going to ask, because I know there are some members of the True Achievements community that I talk to that have purchased them, basically day one. Ones that had issues with the grips, which was my biggest issue, really.
That was a problem with the V1.
Yeah, that was more often than not, that was the issue with my controllers. I've set up a reminder, so in 6 months' time, I'll be reminded to ask them whether their grips are going well.
That's a good idea.
Because if in 6 months' time they're going all right, then I will be more inclined to purchase. At this stage, I'm absolutely not interested. I'm interested in the fact, just by the fact that it is a very good controller, I'm sure, and I want a very good controller, but I'm going to wait until I get that feedback before I'm like, yep, okay, I'm comfortable purchasing it.
The good news is apparently it's going to work on the Scarlet, so...
if it moves forward, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, the talk was that apparently all Xbox One controllers are going to work on the Scarlet, so...
Yeah. Because I would imagine... I can't imagine that the syncing tech's going to be that different just plugging in a USB. Especially if it's all going to be C moving forward, hopefully. Especially with Scarlet.
I'm sure they'll have some, Scarlet version that's slightly different. But I think realistically, I don't think we're going to be seeing major changes. They got other things to work on.
I think the biggest change that might turn me off if I do decide to pony up the money for it is that I've heard the V2 is a lot lighter. And I actually
don't know if I like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I like a good heft.
Well, that was my problem with the standard controllers, is they felt very cheap and light. And that's why I liked the Elite controller. I mean, it was kind of deceptive. It felt like it was a strong controller, and it fails more than the regular one, so, it's a bit ironic. But it felt like a good, weighty, strong controller. And, the customizations on it, I've had the Elite controllers for, 18 months, maybe longer. I don't even know how long. It's been a long time since I've had them. But it was only recently that I put a second profile on my controller, and all it was inverting up and down on the left stick, because games still come out without an invert function.
Yep. My two profiles on the V1 were standard and standard with the left and right sticks swapped.
Southpaw.
No, just because there was some trying to think I can't think of what the game is called, but Time Crisis style games where it just walks for you and you just aim and shoot, where it's way easier to have the aim on the left stick for me.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially
like Rambo. On Rails
I haven't played Rambo, but Blue Estate's the game I'm specifically thinking of.
Oh yeah.
Because you could also pause that and still move the cursor, because it was a Kinect game, so
it's very weird.
So you could pause, move to where you needed the cursor to be to shoot the guy in the head as soon as you unpause, shoot him, pause again, or to record time, murder all these fools.
Oh, I should use that. I need to go back through that game.
And so it's way easier to have the aim on that left stick and pause it rather than aim on the right stick and then pausing it with the left hand and trying to aim and shoot with the is just much smoother. Having those sticks swapped. With 3 profiles, I could probably see... Wait, do you play inverted, Alex?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you're about to come in and roast me, and now you're outnumbered 2-1.
I just didn't realise I was on a podcast with scum.
Look, mate,
that's disgusting.
Real gamers do it inverted. I saw it on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Pushing up tilts the head forward chin, alright? Oh, he's walked away.
He's out.
He's walked away. Alright. Well, we might as well take that opportunity to go on to the next news article.
He's turned this
hang
podcast
on.
on its head.
I don't.
I do what I want. Okay, he's got a T-shirt up here called "I do what I want." Yeah, that's what I say. I do what I want. Oh, there's a kitty that's giving a one-finger salute.
Yeah, it's a great shirt. My girlfriend got it for herself. I'm like, cool, you got me a new shirt. She's like, no, I'm like, you got me a new shirt. She's like, I got you a new shirt.
Do you guys wear the same size?
No, but she likes to wear them baggy because she'll use it. She won't wear it out. She gets a bunch of shirts so she can sleep in them. So she gets basically my size shirts so she can sleep in them. Like a fool. Speaking of which, we got a new Ahegao shirt.
Oh no! Oh no!
Came in the mail today.
Oh god!
Oh, awesome.
You know what you need to do is you need to get a massive one that both of you can wear at the same time.
Like an hoodie?
Yeah, like
hoodie?
An Ahegao hoodie.
Oh boy.
Okay.
You guys
now that the Elite controller talk is done, and again, I assuming that the grips stay on well, I will be much more inclined to purchase this. But I'm probably going to get my Diva chair before this.
Yeah, if you're going to be double handling it, you got to make sure you got good grip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Wise words. All right. Well, we've got a couple of articles here we've just bundled together. So about EA, everyone's favourite company. And what seems like might be a good move, but they've done two things. They've cancelled NBA Live 20, and they've pushed back the next Battlefield game to 2021, presumably so they can finish it before releasing it this time. But the talk about NBA Live 20, I actually didn't know that they were still making NBA Live games. I just thought it was the NBA 2K games, but apparently they're still doing them. But they were talking a few months ago about NBA not being quite done. They said they'd have some more news later this year, and I guess the news was that they're not doing it. So I guess that's good news. Maybe they're trying to change something up, but they said there that they're trying to, gear up for the new generation of consoles. So
which makes sense.
Yeah, because
makes sense.
They struggled against the 2K stuff. This whole generation with basketball games, they struggled to get the numbers against 2K for whatever reason. I have no idea why.
Well,
but 2K stuff is awful. I don't know why.
NBA Live has had trouble in the past. This isn't the first one they've cancelled or had to cancel. I think there was one a while back that they basically had, they put out and then they had to retract basically and cancel the entire project after it got released.
I think NBA Live 12 got scrapped for a mobile version. NBA Live 13 just went straight to mobile, didn't even have a console option. And 14, something happened with 14 as well. So this is like the fourth NBA game in the last 10 years that they've scrapped. Something like that. I can't remember the exact years off the top of my head. It's something like that, though.
Yeah, but it's the fourth time in the last 10 years that the EA has cancelled an NBA Live game. Just to put that in perspective, because they just haven't been able to compete with 2K.
So I've just had a quick look at the NBA 2019 titled games. NBA Live 19 has got 9,423 tracked gamers on True Achievements. NBA 2K19's got 23,832. So it's more than double, but it's still not a huge amount when you think about some of the other more popular games on the console.
I mean, it's a sports game. Like, the TA community, for the most part, aren't huge sports gamers. Like, FIFA is going to be the biggest. That's where I'm heading. Yeah. FIFA's going to be FIFA 19. Let's look comparative years.
FIFA 39,000 or 38,500.
And
you got what?
2,000 on the Xbox 360. Oh wait, no, 373 on the Xbox 360. Let's not forget about that.
They had an Xbox 360 version. Jeez.
Technically, yes. Ever since FIFA 16, I want to say, it's just been FIFA 15 with the new menu.
Yep.
Literally,
updated rosters. Okay.
I didn't even know about that.
I would
Well,
hope so.
PES 19 has got 18,900. So it's, about double for FIFA versus PES.
But those are still decent numbers for both, to be fair.
Yeah, and PES will have a lot more PlayStation support in the Asian area as well.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Battlefield thing as well. So obviously, Battlefield 5 was a massive disaster. I don't know if Battlefield 1, I don't think Battlefield 1 released that well, but Battlefield 4 was a massive disaster with their servers as well. So I'm really hoping that this 2021 Battlefield, two things I'm hoping. I'm hoping that it comes out and it's finished and it works, because, they need that very badly. And also that it's going to be Bad Company 3.
Well, that would be good.
Because,
Hey.
It's kind of funny to me, when you hear all this talk around games, and it's like, oh man, everyone says, I really would like, Bad Company 3, and they talk about a Battlefield article, and they're like, oh, is it them announcing Bad Company 3? There's like stuff like this, like people, all they talk about when Battlefield is mentioned at times is the next one going to be Bad Company 3? And it's like, surely some of that information gets through to EA.
Yes, but the other thing is I don't know how well Bad Company 2 sold. I mean, I know it was relatively popular, but...
Bad Company 2, that's a fair point. Bad Company 2, from my point of view, is a fantastic game.
It's a good game, yeah.
Absolutely. The online play is brilliant.
Yeah, but I think that, obviously they saw a much bigger success with Battlefield 3 and 4. 4 especially, they had huge success with, obviously, even with the problems. And Battlefield 1 still did pretty well for them, but obviously Battlefield 5 is a bit of a misstep. However, looking at looking at this timeline, I wasn't expecting a new Battlefield this year anyway. I mean, they were usually on the 2-year at this point, right?
I thought they were every year.
Well, I think the way, wasn't it the way they used to do it was they do a Battlefront like Star Wars, and then a Battlefield, or like a Titanfall, or like a something. They wouldn't usually do one shooter right after the other.
I don't know. I literally don't pay attention to. There's Battlefield 5.
Yeah, Battlefield 5. Yeah.
I'm just having a look. So, Battlefield 1 was 2016.
Yeah.
Everything's still loading. Battlefield Hardline was 2015.
Yeah.
But Hardline was an off.
Yeah,
like
but it's still a Battlefield game.
There's Visceral.
Battlefield 5 was 2018.
Is it though?
Battlefield 4 was 2013. Okay, so there's some 1 year gaps, some 2 year gaps. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not overly surprised by this news, to be honest, because we haven't heard anything from Battlefield at this point. I mean, I don't even think 5 got any DLC, so I'm not surprised that they're just shutting their mouths and just getting on with it.
Yeah, not in the way season passes have gone previously for the last few games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're releasing... Well, they had, Firestorm, which they didn't make you pay for.
No, true.
And, they've had just some updates here and there.
Ironically, didn't set the world on fire.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's interesting there for EA, so it'll be interesting to see what they have got coming. I mean, you can bet on FIFA and all that kind of stuff, but... Yeah, what was it? 48% of their revenue comes from FIFA? Was that hearing something like that? We talked about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think.
Or maybe I read it.
25% comes from Ultimate Team.
Ultimate Team, yeah.
So then 20% comes from sales of FIFA. So
it's crazy.
Well, maybe if they got some Ultimate Teams on some of these games, they'd be done already.
Oh boy, don't put it out there. All right, so interesting one that I saw throughout the week, and I actually heard another couple of podcasts actually talking about this particular issue. So I think it's very interesting. So the title of the article here, Creator of Ancestors, The Humankind Odyssey, claims that not all reviewers played it. So it's kind of one of those things, surely if you're reviewing a game, you would actually play it. But I'll just read a bit of the article here, because it's quite funny. This guy, Deselitz, is his last name. But he says, I know for a fact that some just invented some elements in the game. Just like there's no fire and you cannot ride any horses in the game. But some reviewers said, it wasn't that great when you ride horses. Most people are unhappy. It's kind of funny because I just thought surely, I was surprised to hear something like this, but surely if you're reviewing a game, you'll put the time in to play it. And I think part of this might be a bit of sour grapes from them getting a roughly 65 on Metacritic at the time they wrote this article. But, if I worked on a game and I was seeing 65 out of 100, what are people's problems with it? Oh, the horse riding sucks. We don't have any horse riding in the game. Yeah, I would be pretty damn annoyed as well.
Maybe that's why it sucks, because it isn't in there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But it just got me
kept
thinking
jumping
as
on
well.
the horses and they would not let me ride them. The horse riding in the game is terrible.
They kicked me, what the hell?
Zero out of 10 not being added to our horse game list.
Yes.
Yes.
Playing Red Dead Redemption 2 the whole time. Kept running into trees in cinematic mode. Was so stupid.
Yeah. So it's just a funny little issue because it obviously goes back to that guy who got fired from, I don't know which place. Was it IGN?
For
For
the Dead Cells
admittedly
review.
plagiarising
As amongst other
many other people's
plagiarists that they
reviews.
discovered.
Yeah. So it actually kind of, for me, goes to a bigger issue that, at least for me, there's a lot of media places, video game media, and not a lot of... It seems like there's not a lot of integrity to kind of go around.
Well, yeah, there's no sort of ethical standard as such. I mean, I'm not to say that video game journalists are such are unethical, but there isn't really a standard for them to be held against if they act in unethical ways.
Yeah, it seems like there's very rarely any consequences for actions like this. Like, I'm sure all they did that I've seen so far is put out an update saying, "Oh, sorry, we meant to say instead of building fires, which you can't do in the game, is building rest sites or something."
Yeah, that was an MS Power user.
Yeah.
The thing is, and it's not to say the devs are in the wrong. It's kind of tough, especially with a game like this, to know how much you need to play to review it, and that's a question that comes up constantly.
Yeah.
Do you need to beat the game to be able to review it? Do you need to... Which, to me, if you're adding a mechanic 60, 70, 80% of the way through a game, that seems like a silly dev move, not... I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it depends on the mechanic. I mean, if you're adding a mechanic in there that is integral to that makes the game suddenly good from bad, then yeah, I would agree, right? I mean, there are games that add mechanics later on, but
then I think, would I trust, having played it, would I necessarily trust the review of a person who's only done playthrough A of Nier Automata?
I think...
And that's, like, because B, C, and the DE endings is drastically different. And it changes the entire... For me, at least, it changed my entire sort of perspective on playthrough A and et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of... without playing it, I go, playthrough A is enough.
It's kind of hard. I mean, Nier is kind of an interesting example because the game has an ending. How many of those endings you need to get to have a review? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Nier is one of my favorite games of this generation, if not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can see a lot of the content has to offer in terms of gameplay, music, the general story beats. From a single playthrough. I mean, I would not argue you definitely do not get the full experience because there's some amazing stuff in those other playthroughs. But I think if you're just talking about how a game works and how it is to play and that sort of stuff and how it looks, I think you can get most of that from the original playthrough. It's really just the story and the narrative, which, I mean, narrative is a big...
How much does that weigh into
how you view a game? And like I tend to be quite a narrative heavy guy myself. But that's different for every person. And like every reviewer is going to have their different slant on it. And then on top of that...
It's different even between the three of us. Like, you want to hear what the story is. Chin doesn't care what the story is,
pretty much
for the most part.
Into gameplay. I'll give the story a chance if it hasn't pulled me in the first 20 minutes. If, like, even an inkling, I'm probably... Sound as well. If the sound hasn't pulled me in the first 20 minutes, I'm done with it. Like, it's just inefficient.
Let me ask both of you, because I've been criticised for this in the past, but if you're going to try out a new TV show, because, you know, there's hundreds on Netflix, how many episodes, or even how long, do you give a show before you decide if it's got you?
How length of the episode? What's the length of the episode?
It's just, so 45 minutes without ads. It's an hour-long show with ads.
That's 2 episodes. If a series where it's got a story arc, that's for me 2 episodes. Pilot, you can't really. Second episode, it's picking up pace, and if you're not gripped by that point, then I don't. For me, I'm not gonna keep watching past the second episode if I'm not interested.
Yeah, I would say...
For a 45-minute show, yeah.
I mean, look, I'm a glutton for punishment. I'll usually watch everything all the way through. There's only a few shows that I've just stopped watching. I don't know, it's kind of... I think it more depends on the length of the show itself. Like, for example, Adventure Time. It's a show that I quite like, but there is 10 seasons of that show, and... Like, I've watched the first 3 seasons or so and thought, you know what? Like, I enjoy this show, but I don't really feel like I need to watch any more of it. Whereas a lot of these things on Netflix, where it's like, you know, you got 10 episodes, they got 2 seasons, like, smash through it, and a lot of the time I'm just like, well, even if it's not that great, I kind of just want to see how it goes.
Yeah, like, my girlfriend's like that.
Yeah, like last season of House of Cards was like that for me, to be honest. I was like, well, I've watched all the other seasons. This last season is pretty bad. But, like, I'm halfway through it already, and I really feel like I should finish the whole series.
Yeah. So I think there's 2 shows that I've thought haven't got me. The first one was Game of Thrones. And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that are like, you're crazy, man. But that first episode, I sat down and watched it, and I reckon I got about 3/4 of the way through it, and I'm like, there's nothing happening. And if they say winter is coming one more time, like if every person in that town doesn't know that winter is coming, what are they doing?
Winter's not just a season. Winter is like
I know.
An age.
I know about like the Night King and all the bad dudes coming in the winter. Like, I know.
That's right, Alex. I haven't seen it either.
But then, so everyone's like, oh, you crazy, man. You know what you're talking about. So my wife actually sat down and watched it. I reckon she's seen up to season 5 or... Is 6 the last season?
No, sure, why not?
I don't know.
Season 8's the last season.
Let's say it is.
6 is the last.
Okay.
Yep.
So she's watched all of season 6. And I would walk past and see things happening. I'm like, okay, yeah, they're fighting each other. But because I don't really know the context.
And I have to
I'd sit down and watch it for like 20 minutes.
I'm not going to get the context.
And I'm like, whatever. But the other one, I just finished the first season of Bates Motel. And I got to the episode before the final episode. And I was decided that I dislike Norma, the mother, so much that I don't want to see any more episodes that she's in.
Wow.
I'm like, I can't stand her. She's the most irritating character I've seen in a really long time. And then Nicole's sister was like, oh, Nicole's my wife, by the way. So her sister's like, oh, do you want to watch the last episode of the season? I'm like, yeah, right. And then she talks about these things that happened to her and why she's so neurotic. And I'm like, okay. You know, if you give me a reason to kind of excuse your ridiculous behaviour, you know, I can probably get past it for maybe another season. But I was close to saying, no, I don't want to watch this anymore. Because it just... You know when you watch a show and you just go, why would you make such a stupid decision? But when you're saying that multiple times an episode, like every episode, you're like, come on, man. What are you doing? Oh, you want to split up while there's a killer after you? Oh, it's a great idea, man. No. Anyway, we've gone way off topic. Way off topic.
But is it... Does the show end up being better because it shows... It doesn't give the reasoning until later, so it forces you to... It forces your thinking and your opinion to turn on this character. Like, it forces you to flip. It forces a heel face turn or whatever.
No.
Does that not?
Absolutely not.
You don't
the
think
way they delivered it the way they delivered it, right?
I don't know what show you're talking about, by the way, just so you're aware.
Bates Motel.
Yep, never heard of it.
Right. Yeah.
But
it's meant to be like a modern reimagining of Psycho, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're sitting down, the son's about to go out to the school dance with a girl that likes him, and he's just sitting on the couch waiting for this girl.
Like celestial body.
No, not the son.
I was like, this is weird.
The son, whose name is Norman, is about to go out to a dance, and all of a sudden she just starts telling him about how, bad things happened to her when she was a kid. And you're just like, of all the times, he's about to go out on his like a first official date type of thing, and you're like, by the way, when I was younger, my brother did all these things to me. Like, all right, okay, I guess. Anyway,
she's trying to teach him what to do.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Anyway, I'll watch season 2 and maybe I'll get back to you after that. But back on topic with this game, I'm thinking that all the coverage that it's got over this is probably going to do it some good anyway. So people are going to probably buy the game that wouldn't have bought the game just to see what they're talking about.
This is the first I've ever heard of it.
Same, yeah, and I wouldn't have heard it, and I wouldn't have bought it if I hadn't heard of it anyway. So
I've seen some gameplay of it. It's basically a simulation, it's a simulation game. You are playing as a
survival simulator.
No, it's an
ancestor like a goat simulator.
You're playing as
close
this
minus the goats.
This ancestor to us, and you're going through the evolution of learning to believe in God and then suddenly becoming human.
Oh, so it's
that's how that works.
David Cage game.
Yeah, no. So you learn how to use tools and all that stuff, and that eventually grows into, I assume, becoming. I didn't watch a lot of gameplay because there wasn't a lot they were allowed to show because it was super pre-alpha, or maybe not pre-alpha but alpha stuff. So, we do reviews. How much of the game do you need to play to review it?
I feel like I need to get to the end of it. But
Okay.
like I said, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Assuming it's not a Witcher 3 and you've got a week to do it,
I mean, even so, I'll still mainline the story in Witcher 3 if I have to. I'll play it on easy, to be honest, because that's just how it would be.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I would still do it.
Yep. Alex?
It depends on the length of the game. If you're playing a 100-hour game, and I reckon if you got half to 3/4 of the way through the story, I think you would have a good idea of the story and how the story's going and how the gameplay mechanics are.
Mm-hmm.
But if the game is under 10 hours, if you haven't rolled credits on it, or at least got right to the end, I mean, you probably should.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to know, obviously, without playing, but assuming the mechanics don't change, I would be comfortable doing a review of a game minus the story after 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Assuming there wasn't anything super new interested, I'd be fine with playing that and going, yep, I'm done. Powerumi we recently did. I did 2 levels. Nothing was going to change after that. They were going to introduce slightly different bosses that do slightly different things, but the core gameplay of rock, scissors, paper was not going to change.
I think, I'm with you on that. I think part of it is the outlook, right? If you could tell a game's bad pretty quickly, but telling if a game's good is much harder. And then also, good games get bad games rarely get good. I think is kind of what I'm getting at. Where it's if the game's bad minute 1, then you know it's a bad game for the most part. If it's a good game from minute 1 to minute 10, and then from after that it gets bad, it's it's still a bad game even if it has a good bit in it. Maybe that'll affect how you think about it, but just because something has good bits in it doesn't mean it's necessarily a good game.
Yeah.
But I mean but I would still if I was doing a review I would still caveat it with saying that I did not finish it, just to be as clear as possible.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that. Pretty sure I did. But in the 2 or 3 levels I did, aside from some of the attacks, the game was the same the whole time. Like, it wasn't a bad game. It was a good game, and if I was interested in getting going for the achievements, I would have continued playing and finished it, but I think some of the achievements are out of my reach, and I don't want to put that on my tag. But, like, yeah, that core gameplay for me. There was one game that I played very little, very, very little, that we reviewed. I did just then I had watched gameplay ages ago of it, and I rewatched gameplay. That was the Amnesia Collection.
But you didn't contribute as much to that.
No, that was
review.
mostly Warren. Yeah. I absolutely let Warren take control, because I was like, I've watched all this. I don't, like, mechanically, I don't know how it feels, because I was genuinely just too scared. That's on the list of things to...
Is that going in the scary game stream?
Yeah, that's in my scary game stream. Like, it was daytime, and I just, like, on stream I can do it because there's people watching, and I know I'll look like a wuss, but I just couldn't make myself do it just at home by myself. So I just watched gameplay of other people doing it.
You're like the Australian PewDiePie without capturing the footage of it, right? Early days PewDiePie when you just used to play scary games.
Yeah, just throw a chair. Go, chair, go.
Yeah. Or Markiplier.
Camp in the corner, camp in the corner.
Alright, let's move on to the last... Well, we got 2 kind of articles here, but they're both about Fallout 76. So the first one, interesting one for Australians, you can actually get a refund of what you paid for Fallout 76. There's a few caveats. So you obviously need to be an Australian, so you're governed by Australian laws. Mm-hmm. But we have a body here called the ACCC, the Consumer Something Commission. I don't even know what it's called, but they look after us. The Consumer Watchdog is what we call it for short. But if you have a genuine grievance with a product and you bring that to the manufacturer's attention, they either have to fix it or provide you a refund. That's really the short version of it.
Repair, replace, refund. Yeah.
And that's what happened with my Panasonic TV last year. So I had a genuine grievance. It was well within the time that it should still be working, and they did end up replacing it. So the 2 caveats that I saw was, you need to be Australian, and you also need to have contacted like Bethesda or ZeniMax or someone to air out your grievances and say you wanted to get a refund. Because what happened was they were telling them...
Between November 24th and June 1st.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
November 24th, 2018 and June 1st, 2019, you had to have requested a refund and essentially been denied, because obviously if you got the refund, you don't need another one. Because and it was because initially they were giving refunds. They were just going, we'll just refund. And then they realised how many people were asking and just blanket statement said no more refunds. Because people had been playing for 50, 60 hours and going, I want a refund. And they were realising and just went, no soup for you.
It's interesting some of the language that's mentioned in here. It's like ZeniMax accepted that their actions in responding to purchases likely contravened Australian consumer law. The ACCC received multiple complaints claiming that ZeniMax representatives, presumably customer service agents, told consumers that they had no right to a game refund, considering the game's issues in the months following its launch.
Are you reading the article or the official report from the ACCC?
No, I'm just reading the article, which I presume is paraphrasing the actual report, but they're talking about problems with servers lagging, graphic and visual problems as some of the complaints. You can get a refund if you're Australian, and you got declined a refund in between those dates. So
I think the big problem is after the news got around that they were no longer giving out refunds, how many people went, oh, they're not doing it, okay, I'm not going to bother. That's
exactly.
That's
exactly.
like, and it is what it is. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. Bethesda, wherever you purchased it from, has a purchase record of when you purchased it, and could tell if you've purchased it before that date, I look, this is a step in the right direction. It'd be nicer if anyone who purchased before June 1st, 2019 could get a refund. But, like, as in any Australian, sorry. Not anyone. But obviously, you know, there's only so much that they can do without much precedence. This is certainly, in terms of video games, this is one of the newer that I can think of in recent memory. One of the only times when refunds was forced upon a company. I can't think of any major company-wide times where this has happened in the past.
I'm sure there have been times, but yeah, I can't think of them either. I think it's good, but yeah, like you said, if I was hearing that some place wasn't giving out refunds, I wouldn't ring them.
No. Yeah, exactly, because it's pointless.
But then I just also got thinking when I first read this article earlier in the week, it's like, does contacting Bethesda count as tweeting them going, F you Bethesda, I want a refund for Fallout 76?
Yeah.
In between the dates specified.
Exhibit A, I called you a butthead and said your game was the worst. Does this
give me my money back?
Yeah, this
Hashtag give me my money back.
I just wonder, I'm like, I presume that wouldn't get over the line. But
and the other thing is, the refund request thing on their website is super buried. Like,
of course it is. Of course it is. You don't want to make it easy for people to get their money back.
Oh, where did I'll see if I can quickly find where I saw how buried it was.
Yeah, because they don't want to make it easy because everyone will do it, but they have to offer it. So they're like, oh yeah, it's in this obscure location that we don't widely publicize, so because we don't want people to use it.
You actually have to play the game and try and find the link in the game itself.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow. That's a good way to avoid refunds. I hate I'm not playing it anymore. Well, that's the only way you can get a refund. You've got to find the refund request.
Bethesda support. Select Fallout 76. Select billing/purchase/code. Select your platform, Xbox, Windows, or PlayStation 4. Select...
I'm surprised when you said requests for support with Fallout 76 that it didn't just shut the whole window down.
The Reddit thread of the guy that was one of the ones who was notified by the ACCC has said, go to I need help with my purchase. That's no longer an option. So I have a question about a sale/offer. Nope. I need help with the Atomic Shop. I want a refund. Well, again, that would be an Atomic Shop refund. Yep. I don't think that option exists anymore to ask for a request a refund for the game.
Great.
It did not seem to, at least. But, yeah. So that's a thing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to stick on the topic of Fallout 76. So, Bethesda really recently released... I just can't even believe I'm saying this. But there's a paid subscription now for Fallout 76 called Fallout First.
How much is it a year, Alex?
It was 180 Australian dollars per year.
Whew.
So what's that? 120 US.
I think it's 120 US.
$10 per month.
No, well, $13 a month or $100 for a year. But you obviously paid it in advance, up front.
Yeah. So. I actually can't remember what the features are. I know you get the unlimited storage space.
Private worlds?
Yeah, private worlds. Unlimited storage space in them.
Scrap boxes, which just ate the items you put in them. So these were bugs associated with it. So private worlds, anyone who could see that you were online could join your private world on your friends list.
That sounds private.
Regardless of invitation. So, for example, a lot of people who were like considered quote-unquote merchants in the game, so ones that would facilitate trades between players, had got memberships so that they could have private worlds to do the trades better. But obviously then people coming into the merchant's world and just raiding their crap and taking all the stuff they've got in all these boxes, became an issue. Scrap boxes, they had unlimited storage for crafting components, but the crafting components were being eaten and destroyed and not there when they went back. The other thing was private worlds were not brand new worlds; they were recycled servers. So people would go into them, and there would be NPCs that were already killed and dead, and like areas that were clearly looted already and stuff like that. Survival tent, so they get a tent they can put down with a stash, sleeping bag, and other things. 1650 atoms per month, which I don't know what that translates into real dollars, but it's probably less than $10 a month, if I had to guess.
Yep.
The Ranger outfit, an iconic Fallout outfit, and unique icons and emotes available only to members. So that's in the first wave of Fallout First membership benefits.
So, naturally, people are unhappy that they've released a subscription model with some of the features they want hidden behind a paywall. So, a 4chan user actually bought the domain falloutfirst.com, and they actually released they built a website basically trolling Bethesda, and they called every reference to Fallout First is referred to as Fallout FU First. It refers to the people that are paying for the subscription as slaves and followers, and shills, I think, was in there as well. It is a very, very funny website. It's been taken down now, I imagine.
No,
Bethesda
it's
got
still
a cease and desist. No, I saw it's been taken down.
Here.
It's been cached, so you can look at an old version of it.
Okay, on falloutfirst.com, because that's where I am.
How is it back up then?
Well,
They
apparently
put it back up,
apparently it was just because it got the kiss of death of just so many people going to the website.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
it got cease and desisted, but they had no real, they had no standing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I saw the membership benefits.
Okay.
That's how I knew.
When I went, it was down. So yeah, maybe it just got too much traffic, and now that it's died down a little bit, but
You can donate to keep the domain name and hosting
it's
fees.
still there.
Yeah.
Head to falloutfirst.com and just have a look at it, because if you don't look at the words in it, it looks like it's an actual ad.
Yeah.
But when you look closely and you see, Fallout FU First,
And it's very well made.
it's
Look,
100%.
Someone's
He
put
could
way too much
almost-
time into it. I love it.
He could almost certainly get pinged for copyright infringement of some of the writing and stuff and the iconography. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'll just read the opening paragraph for those who aren't going to go to falloutfirst.com. Ever since Fallout 76 launched, we've consistently done nothing to improve and evolve the experience based on your feedback. There's a naughty word in between there. That's why we're excited to launch Fallout FU First, a premium
Words. A premium bad word membership.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Butt smashing.
Membership that offer... Yeah, butt smashing. Okay, yeah, I was trying to think of it.
Yeah.
A premium butt smashing membership that offers something dumbass players have been asking for since before launch. Private worlds for you and select idiot friends. So we decided to put it behind a paywall. In addition to this huge feature, Fallout FU First also includes a host of pointless items and cult bonuses, all of which you can find on my...
Don't say it.
mail appendage.
That starts
And the
with
best
a 4.
part, Fallout FU First is available to screw you right now. So, yeah, like Chin said, it is remarkably well written. It is very, very
brilliant.
funny. Head over to falloutfirst.com, because it looks like it's back up. It was not up when I looked earlier in the week, but it's back up now. And if it does for some reason go down, there are cached versions available on the internet. So it's very funny. The other thing that has been reported about people that have purchased the Fallout First membership is that regular users, if they see the Fallout First icon above a player's head, they all stop what they're doing and just start belting the hell out of these users, attacking them, shooting them, smacking them all around. So it's actually led to some quite funny circumstances. Chin, I think you put it better than me when we were talking about it before we came on air tonight. What are your words on it?
It was, well, a lot of the first, because there's threads on Reddit for both sides. One of the threads for the Fallout First members was that they were really upset that they kept getting beaten up by the non-paying scum, so that they needed to make some kind of gated, walled-off area that they could hang out with their Fallout First friends. So they wanted to make essentially a gated community to keep out the riffraff and just have their Fallout First members in. And then Matt said,
"Yeah, considering how the how Todd Howard has been treating the fans, I think that really he really does have that sort of a homeowners association personality."
HOA Todd?
Yeah, HOA Todd, yeah.
It's when you guys were talking about it before we came on air, I was just thinking this is going to end up like the Hunger Games.
Oh,
it's just,
God.
And leaks have come out. These may not be 100% accurate, but the sources are mostly reliable in my eyes. That there will be more utility features added to Fallout First. So I think the claims initially was that things added would only be cosmetic, but now to make Fallout First more appealing, they're adding utility bonuses and boosts, I guess. So I'm not sure what those entail, but that's the plan, as well as a lot more Fallout First exclusive cosmetics that only they can purchase with atoms.
Yay. That sounds like a great idea, and definitely not going to divide the community even further.
Yeah. Oh man, I got this really shiny jacket. Do you have your...
Tunnel snakes rule! And then he just gets stabbed.
Oh, I get that reference.
I'm sure that Clown will be in Discord, just having a comment about this one, because I know he's big fan of that game. Anyway, Chin, what's been happening with G-Task?
Well, we just finished up period 18, and it was an exciting period. People were eliminated, some people weren't. So
that is how the competition works. Yes.
Wow, that sounds interesting. Yeah, good point.
It's like, mate, you could be a cricket commentator with that kind of bat, though.
Wow, that team scored many points, maybe more than the other team.
You know, they do say it's a game of two halves.
In the studio.
The bonus...
There was an ad going around that had that on there for a while in Australia. It's a game of two halves. And they were trying to be serious, and I'm like, yeah, you nut. Okay.
I prefer my games to have three halves.
Wow. Ice hockey is a good sport.
We're now going into the fifth quarter.
That's okay. Yeah. When you get into double overtime, it's just dumb. College football.
That's good. That's good.
The bonus for period 19 is, on the solo side, it is called Your Goal, and it's to end the scoring period having unlocked at least one achievement with the word score in it, or play an ACA Neo Geo game. That's basically what that is.
Yeah, very good.
Yep. The solo side for period 18 had a cutoff of 1,227, so it's starting to creep up there. It's starting to get pretty reasonable. You sort of have to put in a bit of effort to stay in. Wouldn't know anything about that, but our lowest member on the solo side was Ben L72 Trials Bike with 1,275 true achievement difference, a mere 48 above cutoff. Our high flyer was Matt versus Game in 13th spot with 5,171, and we got someone eliminated on the... Well, we didn't get them eliminated, they got themselves eliminated.
Don't get eliminated!
Oh, that's a great show.
Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, man. That show. One of the best game shows ever, probably.
The English dub is just so brilliantly
bad.
dumb.
Baba Ganoush!
It's very bad, but very good.
It's it's completely inaccurate, but that's what makes it so good. I really hope people aren't watching that and going, "Japanese people are really weird."
It's about Japanese
Like,
people have
well,
this really great American sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, they have a team called... I'm not going to...
Yeah,
with the team I was going to go with.
Yeah, careful.
Our solo eliminator is Freemhole. He didn't stick around for the solo side. He wasn't going to stick around much longer, he claims, but did do well enough this time anyway. Sucks to be you. Team cutoff this last period was 4,289. Our lowest team was Boys 2 Kingsmen featuring Beast Smitty. Team of Beast Middle, Kingsman 2625, and Doughboy 4,554. True achievement difference. 265 above. Our high team was Team Name Pending of High Road Vatu, Freemhole, and Kushmoose. I don't know how Freemhole managed to get himself eliminated and be the best team.
Yeah, that's usually something only you can do, Chad.
Yeah,
that's my level territory. They were in 4th spot with 10,790. Knocked out team, we do have one. Video Game of Thrones, which was Nibirios, Secular Forever, and Zus, who had a very good Outer Worlds extra life stream on the weekend, and has encouraged me to push that higher up my backlog, because there's a companion in there who I've colloquially named Parv Hottie.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. All right.
She's very attractive. Unfortunately, she would have no interest in me for reasons.
How do you spell this name? Because I've not seen much about Outer Wilds.
Parvati is Parvati. I call her Parv Hottie because she's hot. But they got eliminated, so suck failure freak.
Alright, so we're going to do the review for Tower of Beatrice. I dived on the grenade this week and played the game.
He says that, no, you say that like we were like, someone needs to do this. Let's flip a coin. Yep. Oh, Alex, you were heads and tails. There you go, buddy.
And yes. I'm pretty sure you picked the game as well, right?
You picked it,
I picked it. That's what I'm saying. I dived on the grenade to save you two.
So, but hang on. So you dived on the grenade that you threw into the room first, is basically what you're saying.
Hey, look, who threw the grenade in there is not relevant to the story. I dived on the grenade. Anyway, the title of the game
He ran into the room that had the grenade in it and threw the pin out to us.
Yeah. You have no proof that I threw any grenades anywhere. You're coming at me with circumstantial evidence. Alright. The publisher is Sometimes You. It's developed by Fairy Forest. It was released on the 31st of July 2019. The true achievement genres are listed as adventure and point and click. I would
point and click adventure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it orders it alphabetically, so just
that's fine. No, I like adventure point and click. It's fine. I'd also throw puzzle in there a little bit because essentially it's 6 or 7 puzzles in a row.
Yeah.
So the plot. I'm going to get into the plot, and this is going to have spoilers because I have a lot of thoughts on this game, but you get a note from who, no one really knows, to go and steal this book from the Tower of Beatrice. And you climb up to the top of the tower to steal this book. And you're going to get paid lots of gold when you steal the book. That's really all the note says. So you climb up the outside of it. There are 6 levels in the game, plus the boss fight, which is also on the ground floor, so you presume that they have gone up. They've climbed 6 levels up to the top to get the book.
Somehow.
Grab the book.
From the outside,
somehow.
I think.
Yeah, presumably from the outside. You get to the top, you get the book, you get trapped. And the only way to get out with the book is to go down through the 6 levels. And I just thought, why don't you just go back out the window? You climbed up it. Why don't you just climb back out? Anyway,
now you got a big book.
Can't do that.
It's like the cows in the barn problem. They can always get up the ladder, they just can't get down.
Is that a reference to the Witcher 3 cows on the roof of the barn? Okay, no, that's nice.
Do you know cows can't go downstairs?
It is actually true.
That's a truth. Okay. Like, they can go upstairs, but their knees don't work to go downstairs.
This is all relevant to the review.
It's more interesting in the game.
Yeah, well, okay. So you get trapped, right? And easy puzzle to get out of your trap. But the book is enchanted in some way, I presume, by Beatrice, but I don't think it's ever really mentioned. But that's a pretty safe bet. It talks to you, and it's telling you about how it's going to trap you. You're never going to get out. You're going to be here forever. And you're like, all right. And then you just keep solving the puzzles while it just constantly taunts you. There's no real story in between the 6 puzzles. You get down to the bottom floor, and this is where the spoilers come in. So if you really want to play this game, be forewarned. But the boss comes in and takes the book off you, and you essentially hit him with all these items that are in the room to damage him. And it's like all of a sudden the book is trying to help you do stuff, whereas the previous 6 levels, it's just tried to taunt you. But then it throws you some hints as well.
The lesser of two evils.
Do you want me to?
You are the lesser of 2 evils.
Yeah, but it's like,
would you want to hang out with you or me? Or pick me because I'm not as bad as you. Not because I'm not bad, just not as bad as you.
It's just inconsistent. It was a glaring problem with me for the game. It taunts you. It taunts you, and then you click on something and it's like, oh yeah, you need to do this. Like, hang on a minute, you don't want me to get out of this room, but you're just telling me how to get out of this room. And it goes in between taunting you and saying, if you're good enough, you can be my apprentice. Anyway, and then as you defeat the boss, it's like, let's go to a tavern. I haven't been to a tavern in 1,000 years. Like, what is a book going to do in a tavern? Are you going to pour whiskey on the pages and it's going to get blasted drunk? I don't understand. Anyway, safe to say there's not much in the way of plot there. You get the book and
it felt like
the
there
boss
was a lot
throws
of
you a
plot.
gold coin. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The gameplay. So the easiest way to kind of describe how this game plays is if you've ever played an Artifex Mundi game, it's a lot like that. But the major difference is in an Artifex Mundi game, you can use your cursor to move, you use your left stick to move the cursor around. Whereas in this game, you press left or right to scroll through the available options to you. It doesn't sound like much of a difference, but it's extremely frustrating because I kept trying to move my cursor and it just would move to the next clickable option. It's very clunky to play in that regards. Having said that, there is a very good guide on True Achievements, which I use to get through all of the game. The graphics and sound, I mean, in terms of sound, there really isn't that much. There's occasional sounds when you use certain things. There are some little bit of background music, but the book, even though it has a whole lot to say, isn't voiced. It's just text on the page. There's not much in the way of sound. No, that wasn't an intentional joke. The graphics, I mean, they get the job done. You're not really expecting super graphics out of this, 4K dazzling. Nah, nothing like that.
Is it 4K though? Does it have any?
Is Xbox enhanced?
Yeah, well, according to True Achievements, it's 4K Xbox One X enhanced. But you would not know that from looking at the game. And I'm playing on an X on a 4K
you
TV.
Wouldn't.
Anyway. Well, I would. The achievements, I mean, they're pretty straightforward. They're pretty much, I think they're all not missable. They're all story related. Yeah, they are all story related. You can finish them in about 3 hours. It took me about 3 hours, I reckon, 2 to 3 hours. The problem with this is it feels like a chore. In between, I couldn't do more than 2 levels at a time without having to stop and go and do something else, because I was just not invested in the game at all. I wasn't interested in what was happening. The puzzles, even though I was following a guide, I didn't enjoy them. I don't think I'd be rushing out to buy another game. There's nothing really wrong with the game per se that I could point out to say this is a glaring omission. It's just, it's not very good. It's I don't really know how else to put it. It's not bad, but it's not. Yeah, it's not. There's not. Yeah, you put it right. There's not a lot there that you would go, yeah, I want to play this. I didn't want to finish it, but it was only a few hours to finish it, so I finished it up today. But yeah, Tower of Beatrice. The verdict for me, I mean, it's not very expensive. So if you're looking for an easy 1,000 gamer score, even at full price, it's not terribly expensive. But I mean, I find it difficult to recommend this game. I didn't really enjoy my time with it a whole lot. Yeah, and I think both of you have you both played it?
Not yet. It's on my list.
Chin, you've played it though.
I've completed it. Yeah, it's. I don't even want to say it's a game as a joke. It's like it's barely a game.
Yeah,
It's
just 6 puzzles in a row with no real reason to go in between them.
Oh, joy. Well,
Yeah.
I'll definitely...
Don't bump it up the list on our behalf, Matt.
I think I'll leave it on the back burner for a little bit.
It very much feels like a 7 or 8 hour game in the body of a 3-hour game. Like you do
It's
a
a
room
chore.
and you're like, oh wow, that must have been like I must have spent an hour in that room. Oh, it's been 10 minutes. That room took me 10 minutes. What do you mean it took me 10 minutes? That was what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for the price, it's 1,000 game score for $6. So, do with that what you will. But I find it tough recommending it even at $6.
Yeah, when I finished it today, I gave it a 1.5 out of 5, and I think now that I think about it, I think that's probably pretty
Quite
close
generous.
to what I think. No, I think that's pretty fair. I mean, everything works. Everything works in the game. There's no glitches. The achievements unlock when they should for me. It works, and I think that's important to mention in today's day and age. But I don't think that you will find too much enjoyment here, unfortunately. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Tower of Beatrice. Get it on sale if you get it.
If you can.
Well, I might bump myself up the list today and go on about the other things that I've been playing because
Certainly may as well.
all right. So we had a family games night this past week. This weekend just finished on the Saturday. So we broke out the Wii. Actually, of all things, I was playing Just Dance 1 and 2. So there's no footage of it. We played some Wii Sports. I mean, I won 2 games for the day. I won 1 round of baseball, and I won Avril Lavigne's Girlfriend. I played against my wife at that. Anyway, someone suggested over lunch that we play Overcooked as well, and I said no. we are not playing.
Smart
We are
man.
not playing Overcooked, and I just thought, how do I explain to them that they're not good enough to play with me to get the achievements?
How do you explain to them, I don't want to hate you before the night is over?
I did say that. I did explain this. I said, I would actually like to want to see you guys after today.
And
if we play Overcooked,
they're like,
that isn't going to happen.
No.
They're like, ha, ha, ha.
seriously.
And I was like, no, I'm actually...
You don't understand.
Yeah. I also played The Adventures of Bertram Fiddle Episode 1. So this is a point-and-click mystery game, compared to the Tower of Beatrice. Adventures of Bertram Fiddle is a very good game. It's only, 90 to 120 minutes, you're done. It's probably even less than that. I went around clicking things that weren't in the guide. But it's pretty straightforward. You're like a rival to Sherlock Holmes, and you're trying to catch a murderer who's been going around killing people, as murderers do. I actually got it because I thought it was a pretty easy game to play. And Petard has actually put up a Gamerscore goal to try and overtake me.
Ooh.
So I've got to stick ahead of her. She did that, over a month ago. Anyway, she's gaining on me, but I keep pulling back ahead. But anyway, I did that because I thought, easy game, can spend about an hour and a half, get it done. But I actually really enjoyed the humour and the references in the game. The story is presented very well. It's not super great or anything, but it's enjoyable, it's solid. But the humour for me is where its strength lies. But you get it. It's pretty cheap as well, so you get it, play it, and I think there's at least episode 2 of that one.
Out.
Yeah,
It's,
I don't know if
slightly
more are
expensive.
coming though, are they?
I don't know. I haven't finished it. End of episode 2.
Yeah, but it's a very good game. There's a lot of British humour in there, so if you enjoyed
Her Majesty's Spiffing.
That's the one. Yes. Very, very similar game. Yeah. And the other game I really wanted to talk about was Riddled Corpses EX. So I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time echoing what Chin has said about Riddled Corpses EX, but my final takeaway from the game, having finished all the achievements this week, is it's an excellent game.
Yeah, I noticed you wrote here, Chin was right. Now this is something that commonly happens. I'm usually right.
It's not.
The sooner you realise, the easier your life will be.
No. But yes, I did write that. It turns out Chin was right, and it is a great game. I talked last time about how the challenge early is very rough, and it is.
It is.
It's very rough. It's disheartening. But Matt, I think you were saying at the time, the more money you grind to get upgrades, the easier it gets, and that's absolutely true. I think the longer you spend in this game, the more you will enjoy it. That was certainly true for me.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's very much a war of attrition.
Yeah.
You just keep bashing your head against it until you get it.
I found, I know you were saying once you get the girl that gets 2 times gold to use her, but I found the levels were so crowded that I couldn't necessarily pick up that much gold. And obviously I only need to pick up half as much for it to be worthwhile. So I stuck with the girl who magnets the money to her for a lot longer. But my strategy was to play the first level until I could beat it, and then just grind the next level, because the higher the levels go, the more gold you get per kill. It seems like if you have 10 enemies in level 5, 8 or 9 of them will drop gold, whereas if you have 10 enemies in level 1, maybe one of them will drop a gold. So,
is it level 4 or level 3 that's the...
Level 4 is the one, because level 3 is the one with the motorbikes. Level 4.
Yeah, level 4 and 5 as well. I grinded out level 4 the most, but level 5 I grinded as well. But yeah, really good game. I mean, the story's there. It's a reason to go in between levels, but the challenge is what I really enjoyed in this game. But yeah, for me, 3,035 Gamerscore this week. All right, Kirby, you're next. What have you been doing?
I am indeed. I will probably spend the most time on those, so I'll go with... I played Driving Essentials. I have... it's on my random to-do list, so this is the Learn How to Drive game. Learning how to drive on the incorrect side of the road, so it can be quite difficult with giving way and stuff. It's not intuitive to me, because I'm like, okay, I go now, and the car goes, I'm like, oh, stop, brake, don't hit him. I'm pretty sure I was... Oh, wait, backwards, yep. When I was playing it, though, and it's funny, I'm doing the lessons, and I just skipped, because I had an achievement that I assumed I had on my random to-do list, because I'm doing the scavenger hunt, so I don't know for sure, to do level 10 perfectly, or something like that, or, there are 2 achievements, one for doing it perfectly, and one for getting over 80%. So I figure I'll get both of them in the one go and knock them out, and hopefully they'll both be on my list. So driving very carefully around, doing lesson 10. Had only done lesson 1 up to that point, but pretty easy. Went back to lesson 2. Driving. Blink. Failed. Ran into a car. Had a micro sleep. Went, oh, this is like real life. Lost 100 points, failed.
God.
So,
that's terrifying.
Loaded up again, driving, got a bit further, blink, minus 100 points, driven off the road. Oh, another micro sleep. This is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know what, I can't even remember what day it was. I think it was Friday, and I was feeling unwell Friday, so I was real tired. But I was like, man, I am terrible at this learning how to drive thing. This is not good. I think I crashed 5 times before I gave up, and I said I'd do it later. Just into backs of cars. I can't hear you, Alex. Yeah. And I don't know if that's me or you.
That's me. What's your driving like in real life?
It's fine.
Okay.
I'm not as good at parking anymore with my eyes. I'm usually not middle. I used to be pretty good middle. I'm usually slightly angled, but that's because my eyes... I'm not great. I still am well within the lines and not obnoxious, but it's not perfect.
And not crashing into people's cars.
Yeah, definitely not. Only the ones.
Yeah. And sometimes the
That fire truck pulled out of nowhere.
It's coming right for me.
Turn off your lights. I can't see. Go around.
Go around.
I have put a bit of time into Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 because there is a boss hunt event coming up. So 3 achievements that are difficult to get because they're event based will be coming up. The Spooky Squash event. So I've been leveling up my goat zombie. So hopefully that runs from the 5th to the 11th. So hopefully I'll get that done. I'll find a group to do it with, because that would be really unfortunate if I missed it, and I would be very, very sad. I also, this weekend, helped 5 people boost Chess Ultra, getting the 32-player tournament. We used some of the people participating had alt accounts. I used 19 alt accounts.
I was going to say, some of the alt accounts that we both share.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's a lot of these accounts logged in right now.
Yeah.
I figured you were
Chess is popping off this weekend.
Yeah. So I used 19 of those. We got it done. Unfortunately, right at the end, because you can have 3 tournaments that you can see at once. You can have more tournaments active, but you can only see 3 at once. So we had our first group of 3 go. We got to the end, and I get one of them to, because I'm getting the achievement with them, I get one of them to forfeit from 2 of the tournaments, and then one of the other guys says, "Oh, okay, just checking. Me and him are going to preload it. Can you set that up for us?" I'm like, I don't know now.
Jeez.
I'm going to try this and hope. It popped for one of them. Didn't pop for the other because the one that it popped for that he was going to preload has the tournament. It has the tournament that the other person should win, so he will need to forfeit that later. But I was like, I wish you'd told me earlier because I did not set this up very well planning for that. I probably could have set it up better if I'd known that. But we got Rockadude 5012, What the Fug, Elroy OMJ. Well, Rockadude's preloaded. Elroy OMJ.
What's it preloaded for? Is he still in
I don't know.
GTAS?
I think he's in GTAS, but just for whenever it may come up, I don't know. People would be cray.
Okay. People do things, yeah. That's true.
High Road Vatu and one of my friends, Mikhail Krauser, who I ran his account in this, so worked. Got that for them. Have done a little bit of Ruby Grim Eclipse. Tried to get some of the 4-player stuff done this weekend. Didn't quite work out, but Shadowless Edge and I did some of the stuff we could do with 2 players on Sunday night. So we did got an achievement for completing a level quite quickly and for completing a level using only ranged weapons, and looked at some of the Horde levels and attempted some of them and went, okay, maybe doable if we stuck it out for a bit, but probably way easier with more people, so we're going to wait and probably do that with 4 people, because I think we just have no turrets and 85% health, which is just so much easier with 4 people. With 4 people, it's a breeze. Because unfortunately, I play as Weiss, that was the character I leveled up, so her ranged attack freezes them, but the turrets don't target them when they're frozen. Blake,
that would be too good.
Blake, one of the other characters, apparently her ranged attack stuns, and when they're stunned, they can still be targeted by the turret. So that's apparently the best character to have for this. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll level that up. But
Blake's who I use, so
I went with Weiss because she's the best character, but I have started to chip away at Spellspire again, which is a word puzzle game. I've done all of the tower stuff. I just basically need to get to level 10 in the dungeon, level 42 and then beat the dragon on level 50. I also need to purchase a bunch of upgrades for one of the armors, but you get so much gold, I'm going to guarantee I'll get that without even trying. So I'm going to try to do like one floor of the dungeon a day, which is each floor of the dungeon requires 5 sets of challenges, and there's 3 challenges in each set. Usually it only takes me 2 mini runs to complete a set, depending on what the challenges are. But that shouldn't be too difficult. It's just something I just got to chip away at, because Sangrias was talking about it in the Achievement Land Discord, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I should get back to that. The big one I'm going to talk about, not necessarily for the game itself, was the first tree. So Alex has completed this.
Yeah.
Matt, you have you
I have it sitting on my downloaded. I've just been waiting to start it.
Yeah, okay. Game's pretty simple. I didn't have too much trouble with the bunnies once I figured out that I needed to turn the sound on to hear them, because they make an audible they make an audible squeak when you catch them. I didn't realize at first. I'm like, how do I know if I've caught it? But the collectibles were alright. One of the issues for me, and this is just something that I have to get used to, and I wrote on Twitter about this as well, and spoke to the developer a bit, and complimented on his game, because the game is fantastic. It's beautiful. It looks great. Some of the animation's a little janky, but you can get over that. You can get past it. It's not, you're not going to see it and go, oh, this is the worst game ever because of it. You just go, okay, yeah, whatever. We move on. A lot of the collectibles are you have to double jump to reach them, and it's a 3D platforming game. And I don't generally have issues with 3D platforming games. It's, this is a very easy 3D platforming game. I was struggling a lot getting some of these collectibles because I could not gauge the distance for my double jumps.
Right.
And that's purely because my vision is going in my left eye. So my depth perception is lacking. I think, I don't imagine many people have a lot of trouble getting them. Alex, did you have much trouble?
Yeah, no, I did.
Okay.
I felt the same kind of issue. Obviously, not to the extent that you would have it, but there was a few times where I thought I was jumping far enough to get them, and I just wasn't.
Okay.
So I had to climb up. There was one bit, I think it was next to a waterfall, where you had to climb up and collect certain things. I really struggled with that. Yeah, the multiple butterflies. Yeah, no, I had a bit of trouble in not much, but just a little bit of trouble in a few different sections.
There was multiple instances where I just could not tell where, the camera angle didn't change in the camera angle, and I couldn't. I had multiple attempts trying to collect these stars, and I had to take a break because I was sort of getting frustrated at myself, and all those sort of the emotions that I had back when I sort of first dealt with this sort of came back up, and I was beating myself up again that I didn't deal with this sooner and all that other stuff. So, but the game is fantastic. I didn't write anything at the end because I'm a pleb, but so there's at the end you can write a message, and it goes in. You can choose to send it to the cloud, and someone might see your message later once it's been vetted and make sure it's appropriate. I didn't send anything because I'm not a nice person, but I enjoyed the game, but it caused me to reconsider the kinds of games I may think of playing in the future, in a general sense, not short term, but longer term. 2D might be better, 2D side scrolling stuff might just be better in general, because I don't need to gauge that distance, or maybe but I don't feel like I notice it as much in Rocket League, but I've put 300, 400 hours into that, so it's an experience thing as well.
What did you think of the story? Did you actually watch the story? I should ask.
Well, I didn't listen to it. I read the subtitles because I had subtitles on.
That's a shame, because it was actually really well voice acted, I thought, but you know, you can still get the full effect of the story from reading it too.
It was, yeah, I think it spoke to me a lot as well, because it was about that loss and stuff. And like, not that I've lost family or anything, but just sort of having that expectation that things will always be fine and things will always be the same and things will work out, and that sometimes they don't, and being able to cope and deal with that and the circumstances that, you know, I think it was a very good story. I would recommend the game to people. It's a very easy completion. I don't want to talk about I think it's a good story. I don't want to go too in depth, because I think you do need to experience this. It's like Life is Strange, except I like this one, where I don't, you know, I think everyone should experience Life is Strange despite me not liking it. It's just one of those games I think people need to play and experience. This First Tree is one of those games I think people need to experience for themselves, because you'll get a lot more out of it than hearing any of us talk about it, because it will speak to you on a different personal level. Like, you know, you don't have to have gone through the exact things that are happening in the story and being talked about in the story, but everyone has experienced something like, you know, like that on some scale, unless you're 12 years old, in which case go back to Fortnite. Just have fun in Fortnite. That's fine. Have fun. Enjoy your life while you've... That sounds like a threat. Enjoy your life while you've got it. That sounds like a threat. No, just like...
That sounds like what you should have written at the end of the game. You've accidentally popped up with something profound.
Go back to Fortnite. Enjoy your life while you've got it, kid. No, just...
Oh, maybe not the first bit.
Yeah, but so it's... Yeah, you know, not taking things for granted and grudges don't help people. Grudges do nothing but eat away at you, and they're not beneficial. It's not helpful, and I do think it's a good story. I'm glad I read it, because initially, the first time I ran through to dive it, I didn't look at the story at all, and then this time I was like, okay, well, I don't need to look at, but I did, and I'm glad I did. But yeah, that was I earned 1,555 Gamerscore. Alex, did you say how much you earned?
Yeah, 3,035.
Okay, I wasn't sure, because I know you did more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, what's been happening?
Just so you recommend that I play First Tree, then I might play it for next week's episode. Then
yeah, I do.
It's really good, really good.
There's a collectible guide up. Probably takes about 2 hours.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
maybe a bit longer if you sort of don't follow the guide a bit. Even if, like, if you ask one of us and we can say there are this many collectibles in this level, this many in this level, and you know, if you don't necessarily want to play with the guide, but there's none of the story is spoiled in the guide, but they skip the story essentially.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll jump on that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, what have I been working on? So it's been cleanup for me. Playing a bunch of easy games. So I got through Grass Cutter Mutated Lawns. So actually had a little bit of fun with that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly fun. On a couple of little annoying bits towards the end. Bird Game Plus, which I got stuck on for a little bit because I didn't understand how the trick door worked.
It's not great at explaining how to do things.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as intuitive as I was expecting. Like, they don't tell you about the barrel roll or anything like that. Iron Snout. So, punching some things.
That's a fun little game.
Yeah, it was alright. You know, so kind of like, one finger death punch sort of thing. It was relatively enjoyable. Just sort of ground that out.
I wrote a macro on my Cronus to just rotate the stick.
See, yeah, that's what I should have done for sure. And then Zerotopian Invasion. So basically Galaga with some bugs and stuff. I had a little bit of trouble with that one actually towards the end, just trying to get that last boss, or the second boss.
Yeah.
I'm not that great at those kinds of games, so it took me a few tries. And then I also did Ascendance, which was on sale last week, and we were talking about Refunct, so I figured,
Ascendance.
so a fun little...
I read Ace in Dance. Ace in Dance. I'm like, what game is Ace in Dance?
Yes, Ace and Dance.
I'm just wondering if I've played this one. Because I initially read it as the one where you have to get the white shift.
No, it's Oversight. Assemblance.
I was going to say...
That's Assemblance, yes. Yeah. So no, Ascendance is the... it was on sale last week as a first-person platformer.
It's like Refunct.
You're in a weird...
Oh,
very much
Ascendance
like Refunct,
First Horizon. Yeah, okay.
That's
No, I have not played this one yet.
Yeah, so I grabbed that. So I'm just trying to boost up my game score a little bit and clean up some old games. So what else have I been playing? I've been playing The Division over the weekend. Did a bit of boosting for that. So up at the crack of dawn to get into a lobby of 16 people, and then a lobby of 15 people, and then a lobby of 14 people, and then a lobby of 15 people, and then a lobby of 14 people, and then suddenly a random of 14 people, but two randoms who were ruining everything. So it wasn't as smooth as we were hoping, but I managed to get quite a few achievements out of it, which is good. And then I got hit up by a Russian guy who wanted to do some Bad Company boosting for the Onslaught mode. But I had to explain to him that we definitely had to do the easy mode first before we did hardcore, so we didn't lock ourselves out of the achievements. So, yeah, that nearly could have gone really badly if I hadn't checked.
How does that work?
So there's a
bug.
There's a bug. Those achievements are partially unobtainable. So there's an achievement there's 4 maps, and there's 8 achievements. So one of them's for finishing on any difficulty, and one of the achievements is for finishing on veteran difficulty or hardcore. If you finish it on hardcore, there's a chance that it won't unlock the previous difficulty, and it'll never unlock for you if you try and go back and do the lower difficulty ones.
Oh, God. So they should stack, but don't always stack.
Exactly. So what you need to do basically is just run through all 4 of them on easy, which most of them are pretty simple. The first 1, 3, and 4 are easy. The second one has a helicopter that's really annoying, but whatever. And then just do them on hardcore afterwards. So we ran through all 4 of them on easy, and then we managed to get through the first one on hardcore before we sort of ran out of time. So I need to go back to that at some stage and just finish it up. It is not an easy... It's quite a tough mode, and the lag was making it so bad that I essentially had to do all of the work. Because when the Russian guys, there was 2 of them, it was a Russian guy and a Brazilian guy, when they were shooting the enemies, just nothing was happening. Yeah, it was basically the worst connection possible.
I'm just thinking, yeah, wow. Brazil, Russia, New Zealand. That is...
Yeah, it's
You could not really be more further away from each other.
Pretty much. It's the laggiest axis of evil I've ever been a part of. So I did a bit of that. What else did I work on? Worked on some Ruby. I know there was a plan to do that at some stage. I'm not sure what happened with that. Well, I do know actually. A certain Shadowless Edge fell asleep before we could get it together. So I decided, well, I've got the game downloaded now, and I've got it fired up, so I'm going to run through it. So I ended up just doing the final boss and grinding that out to get that achievement, and then working on a couple of other little bit random bits. But yeah, I need to get back and actually finish that up, because it is actually a surprisingly fun game, even if it's a bit lopsided. It's not quite as deep as I think it should be.
No,
because the enemies are basically just damaged sponges that don't really react to your hits very well.
Yeah,
I just watched a clip when you guys were talking about it before. It looks like a pretty good game.
It's not bad. It's interesting.
It's quite fun. It's a hard game to play when you know more about the company that made it, because then you go, oh, that's that person. Oh, that's that person talking. Oh, and it kind of knowing the faces connected to the voices pulls me out of it a bit. But
right,
there's nothing against them, but I just I hear it and I go, okay. All right.
So we'll need to get back to that, because there are a few 4-player achievements I was going to help you guys out with.
Yeah.
And I think I need to beat the last boss with the 2 or 3 other characters. Neverwinter, I finally bit the bullet. They've patched the unobtainable, so I'm going back and doing the dailies. So it's going to take me do 2 dailies a day, so it'll take me about 25 days to get the achievement. Looking at the DLC, about 7 people have finished the new dungeon, and none of them have been able to finish it without dying. So I don't know if anyone's ever going to get that achievement, to be honest. So that looks pretty rough. And then the news came out this week that the Windows Phone 8 store is being shut down or something. They're basically ending the support. So we decided I was going to dust off my Windows 8 phone and start up those games. It has a digitizer on it problem, so I've got a big dead zone in the middle of it, so it's a bit limited in what I can play. So I decided, well, I'll fire up Asphalt 5, run through that, started running through, unlocked a few achievements. Noticed they weren't syncing, and I said, "Oh, okay, that's interesting." And then did a couple of other games, checked that, no syncing there either. So it turns out that apparently Windows Phone games just aren't syncing anymore if you have Windows 7 or 8. Not great. So yes, I've got a bunch of achievements in there that aren't showing up on my profile. So I did what any self-respecting person would do, and I went out and bought another cheap Windows phone to upgrade to Windows 10. To re-download all my games and start all over again. So I've managed to get through Sally Salon, which I had to start from scratch. So all 75 levels of just bashing my head against the most boring management game I've ever played. I just finished up Connectimals about an hour ago. So that was me sitting there throwing a ball to a Black Panther, a little baby one, for about 4 hours.
That's cool.
Yeah, just playing fetch
for 4 hours, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, like the game's fine. I mean, it's very, very repetitive, but it's easy enough. And then so I was playing some Asphalt 5, which I was like, oh great, the achievements are unlocking now. But then I got to level 15, and when you get to level 15, you basically it's really, really weird. But the game you unlock girls for the thing, and the girls give you bonuses, and each of them, when they get introduced, once you hit a certain level, they play a video. So the app will stop and a video will play. Now, on Windows 8, that works fine because the video is integrated. There has a quick video switcher built into Windows 8, which they removed for Windows 10. So what ends up happening is you get to level 15. So you finish the race. So I was just doing, I think it was a time attack. Finish the race. The video plays, and it says, oh, hey, cool, you unlocked me. You should pick me for your next race. I was like, all right. And then the video ends, and it says, okay, putting you back into the game. And then the game says, oh, hey, you quit out of the race. We'll just have to put you back to the start of that race that you just did. And also, we're not going to save your race progress, so guess what? You're back down to level 14. So, looks like that's not going to be completable. So I'm looking forward to trying to figure out what I'm going to do there.
I wonder if there's like a third-party app or something you can get on the phone that will go in place of that video switcher.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, if there's some way I can disable the video player or something along those lines. But yeah, I don't know how hacker man I have to get into it. But we'll see how it goes.
Hacker man.
But other than that, it's So I had 9 Windows Phone games to play. I'm down to 7, and Bullet Asylum has 1 achievement left in it, which won't unlock for some reason. So I've got to keep trying that. But I'm going to try and get as much done as I can. But it's looking pretty rough. I think I might be 3 or 4 games short by the end of it. But hey, I've got to try and get as much done as I can. So this week I ended up with 5,450 points.
All right.
Okay.
There's a pretty big sale happening this week as well. So
there is. Before that, did we talk about we haven't talked about Games with Gold because it came out in between episodes. Yeah, that's our favourite time for Games with Gold to be announced.
The very last possible moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have in Games with Gold currently available. So available right now. Right now you could get it. You could get it right now. Right now. Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter on the Xbox One. And also the Xbox original one, Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. So Sherlock Holmes will be available to the 30th of November. Jedi Starfighter will be available till the 15th. Doesn't have achievements, so I don't see why you would want it. Starting from the 16th till the 15th of December, The Final Station is going to be out on Games with Gold. That was a mixed pot from 2017? 2018? 2017. It was a mixed pot prize, so I already have that. Does have an amazing DLC with 1,300 Gamerscore. So,
is that the one that's for finishing the game with all
Each
these
of the
different
characters?
yeah,
Yep.
so you just sort of you make it like a cache offline save after each point, and otherwise you have to do a playthrough 50 bajillion times. Yeah. And on the Xbox 360, Joyride Turbo will be available from the 16th to 30th. I think that one and Sherlock Holmes were both Game Pass, so yeah. Look, it's not the greatest.
It's not great.
But look, Devil's Daughter is a good game. Played it, completed it. What I've played of the final station is good. I think I'm 4/5 of the way through because I had to do it for UHH. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's decent. Yeah, there's a couple of really good video guides out there for it.
Yeah, and Joyride Turbo is Joyride Turbo, so yeah, whatever. Yeah. Sales, yeah.
All right. Well, there's a lot to talk about in the sale as well. So,
Oh
let's
boy,
go
there
through
is.
yeah.
Oh, you want me to?
You're usually the one that goes
This is what you
through
did. You
them,
said, "Let's go through them." Wait, not Kirby. Do you want to go through them, or you're like, "Let's go"? I'm going to go through them. Wait. Agatha Knife is 50% off, $5.99. Demetrios: The Big Cynical Adventure is 80% off, $1.99.
That's a bargain.
Deployment is 30% off, $6.99. Energy Cycle Edge, 30% off, $3.49. Glass Masquerade, 50% off, $5.99. Great game. Gnome's Garden, 60% off, $1.99. Gnome's Garden 2, 60% off, $1.99. Goat Simulator, the Goatee Edition, which includes all the DLC.
And the game.
We've got and the base game and all the DLC, because we've just got includes, 75% off, $7.49, so I don't know what it includes.
Includes all DLC.
Yeah. Hero Express, 30% off, $3.49. iZombie, 50% off, $1.99. Infinity Runner, 70% off, $2.09. Jack and Jill DX, 33% off, $3.34. Mechanica, 50% off, $2.99. Ovivo.
Great game.
It's a good game, it is, yeah.
Super bargain. That Mechanica, very good. Very good game.
Ovivo, 30% off, $4.89. Planet Alpha, 70% off, $5.99. Rememoried, 80% off, $2.99.
Too expensive.
What's Rememoried?
It's the one where you have to turn around, and when you turn around, what you're looking at changes.
For $3, there was like $20 at the start. That's bargain.
It is not.
It's
game.
absolute trash.
For $3 though.
Yeah, $3. Just do it.
That's great for $3.
It's one of those arty games that's trying to tell you a story, but the story's so incoherent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slay Away Camp, Butcher's Cut, 60% off, $5.60. Definitely use the guide for that one because you can skip 90% of it. Tesla vs. Lovecraft, 50% off, $7.49. The Bridge, 75% off, $2.49. The Long Reach, 75% off, $3.74. Time Can't.
The Long Reach, great game.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get
in
this.
between you reading them out. Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I'm trying to just cut in there. Just keep
Time Carnage, 40% off, $7.49. Tiny Troopers Joint Ops, 60% off, $3.99.
It's an okay game.
Tower of Guns, 70% off, $4.49.
Yeah.
It's a good game. It's a good game. I stacked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it? It's a Chinese version, isn't it?
No, there's a physical. There's a PAL physical.
Yeah. Where on earth did you get that?
Nope.
Okay.
Whatever it is you're thinking, there's not.
Okay.
Tyler Model 005, 80% off, $1.99. Still not worth it. Vostok Inc., 50% off, $7.49. And Zombie Driver Ultimate Edition is 75% off, $3.74. Now, apparently, according to the console in Sweden, this is the Achievement Hunter sale. Is what it's called.
Ah.
Really?
Which would make sense.
Well, they know their audience, yeah.
And I'm glad it wasn't like the Achievement Hunter sale and like, I don't know, Need for Speed something.
It's everything with unobtainables in it.
Yeah.
Cop this, Achievement Hunters.
So yeah.
I was like, yeah, it does sound like the Achievement Hunter sale because I own literally every single game on that list.
I'm like, yeah, I went through this and I'm like, oh, there's actually very little for me to buy this week. Because it's just, yep, the Achievement Hunter sale is right. What are you going to recommend, though? I don't care which one of you guys, to be honest.
We started saying Matt, so...
Yeah, I'll go first, and that's fine. So I'm going to do 2 recommendations, because I love to buck the trend. So I'm going to do Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, 80% off for $7.99. It is not a quick game, but it is a rather interesting one. It is essentially built on the Far Cry engine, but it's got a very, obviously, a big focus on sniping. So it actually works surprisingly well. It is a little bit janky, in the same way that Far Cry tends to be. But I wasn't sure what I was getting into when I picked it up. But I had a lot of fun, and I would definitely recommend it. It's an open world game, so you can kind of just mess around, upgrade your sniper rifle, go and do like bounty hunting and all kinds of side quests and that sort of stuff. It was pretty good. And
is there bullet drop
in
the game?
Yes, you can sort of toggle between how realistic you want it to be.
Can you turn on a little thing that tells you where the bullet drop's going to end up?
I believe so, yes, for most of the guns,
And
yeah.
Does that affect achievements?
Don't believe so.
Okay.
It's been a little while since I played it, but I know that there are definitely some options you can mess with. I didn't have too much trouble with it. Like, I didn't have too much trouble with it, and if I got through it, then I'm sure most of you could too.
Okay.
But it is like a 15 to 20 hour game, so it's not a short one, but it's quite fun. And then I'm also recommending The Surge for 75% off for $4.99 because it is going off Game Pass, I believe.
Yep, and they also have the deluxe edition. It's like $7.50 with both DLC.
Yeah, so actually that's probably the one to go for. I already have the DLC, but that's probably it's a really, really good game if you're into that sort of Dark Souls-esque but with sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, my recommendation is Mechanica, so I mentioned it very briefly before, but it's very easy. You can complete it in under an hour's time. Was it a side-scrolling or a point-and-click game? I can't remember exactly.
Point and click.
That's what I remember. You can walk around, but you have
point
to
and click mechanics,
click on things,
like combining things, and
Well, I remember. Sorry, what were you going to say, Matt?
Oh, so it's a sequel to Agatha Knife, which is also on sale.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. And I think they both feature in each other's game.
Yep, they do. Yeah, they're both.
Because Agatha Knife is in Mechanica.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Mechanica is in Agatha Knife's game. Yeah, so
yes.
I really enjoyed the humour of it. It's got like that dark humour, even sometimes quite crass humour. But there was a lot of instances in that game where it just got me. So if someone has the same sense of humour, you'll get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And $3 for an hour, I mean, that's pretty solid. Kirby, what about you?
I think I'm recommending something that's not necessarily super easy, but I think is a really fantastic game. Tiles. So Tiles is a puzzle game in which you have a starting point, and there's essentially a map layout, and you need to cover each point on that layout. So you need to walk over each point. But the tile that you're standing on will disappear after, I don't know what the time is, say 2 seconds. So you need to move on quite quickly. You can't just stand in the one spot. Otherwise, the tile will fall underneath you and you'll lose. There are obviously some spots where you can walk on a tile twice, some that appear and disappear, so you have to kind of time when you're going to be at the right spot so you can get across. It's a really, really good game. It's an 8 to 10 hour completion, 2,459 TA. There is an achievement for completing the entire game in like one sitting, quote unquote. Start on level 1 and clear all 90 levels without going back to the menu. So that can be quite painful if you have, say, started on the Xbox and you got stuck, because it means you will have to wait. The game is play anywhere, so you can do it on a computer with a keyboard. I don't know if a keyboard will work on plugged into your Xbox. I don't know if there's that keyboard mouse support for it in that sense. It is much easier with a keyboard because I finished off beating the 3-star times with on the PC. But it's a fantastic game. It's like a one-man dev, I think. I cannot say enough good things about it, and it's only $2. It's I will say again, it's not an easy completion. There are 59 out of 900 people have completed it. And it's probably just that in one sitting and beating the 3-star par times that people struggle with. So you can still get 700 Gamerscore reasonably well. Hello, Rain.
Well, in terms of purchases this week, I think I'll be picking up the Goat Simulator DLC as part of my quest once I get to 95% and turning on all DLC settings. That will be one of the games I get to go back to. Yay. So 75% off, $4.99. That seems pretty fair. So there'll probably be a couple of other things maybe in the list you guys have mentioned above, but as of right now, Goat Simulator, the DLC Season Pass, that's about it. Matt, you've got a couple of things here that you're buying?
Yeah, well, thinking about it, I looked at Heroes Express. Looks like a platformer. It's on sale. Got mentioned above. Looks relatively easy and quick. And then Undead Horde, which I haven't really seen much about, but it looks kind of interesting. Real-time strategy. So the deals on them aren't quite as good as I would normally like. They're sort of like sitting around that 30% mark. But I might just bite the bullet and pick them up.
And also going to buy Bloody Zombies, yeah? So we can play it?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. New podcast. Who does?
Okay.
Also, people should buy. It's 40% off, $4.79. Get the Recotech bundle. Don't look at it. Just get it. Don't look at it. Just get it. I am probably going to purchase the Season 2 Batman Telltale game, the complete season. Probably going to get that. I'm probably going to get the Surge bundle. A game called Think of the Children, which seems to be kind of like Overcooked, but a little bit different, because that's down to $2.50 from $13. Does have an unobtainable, but I absolutely don't care about those anymore. I'm being convinced about Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. So Matt's pushing me. I'm probably going to get that as well. Wow, Rain. And also Planet...
Loud,
yeah. Planet Alpha. Oh, there is just a solid bar from about there onwards of when the rain comes in. Yeah, Planet Alpha as well, because apparently I wasn't aware of its existence, and it's on sale for $5 and easy game score. So,
yep, it's a relatively easy side-scrolling platformer.
Awesome.
Just watch out for the collectibles.
Yep, I think there's a full walkthrough on YouTube, about 2 hours long. So awesome, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just doing a quick look, make sure there's nothing else. I definitely wouldn't be buying, no, because I own it all. Maybe RGX Showdown. It's a racing game of some kind, but I think I have it through a friend, and maybe I want to own it myself. That looks like it's about it for me. Yeah. So, we do have some new games out. Coming out tomorrow, we have Football Game. It's the new Ratalaika. Yeah.
It's weird, because when I saw the title, I was expecting like an Active Soccer DX type of game.
Yeah, no, it's like...
But it seems to really not be anything like that at all.
No. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's Ratalaika. You'd sort of... Maybe you get a gem, maybe you get some trash that still only takes half an hour, so you're okay with it being trash.
Yeah. Maybe you'll get Bird Game Plus.
Yeah. On Friday, notables is Human Fall Flat is the ice level coming out.
Woo!
Ice level update. So, I'm sure Matt and I will be jumping in on that. Probably not this weekend because probably not this weekend because I'll be busy, but definitely soon. I should also gift him We Were Here Too so that we can play that together.
Oh, yes.
Because I was watching Angel SK and Radical Sniper 99, their extra live stream, they were co-streaming, and I came in halfway through, I'm like, what game's this? We Were Here Too. I'm like, message me when you're done, bye. just immediately left, because I'm like, I don't want to see anything.
Yeah, no, exactly. It looks really good.
It does. So they commented, because I asked how it was later, they said, the game as a whole is harder than the first, but the achievement list is easier.
Oh, okay,
so,
cool.
I guess to get through the game will be harder, but to do the things you need to do are easier. So maybe not a full perfect run, or I don't know. Also Friday is Need for Speed Heat, which I'm kind of interested in, because I don't think it's super microtransaction heavy. I'm not sure, but I feel like it's not. And
I have to say, I've heard nothing about the game at all in any press or anything. No one seems at all interested.
Someone has told me that, because they work at EA, so they played the beta, the test version that didn't have achievements live, and that it was really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then on Tuesday, Matt's favorite game, Bridge Constructor Portal, has the Portal Proficiency DLC coming out. Woo!
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. So enjoy going back to that sucker.
Oh, man, that game was, like, there was nothing particularly wrong with that game.
It was
just so boring and uninteresting, and it just went on for so long. And they were like, hey, guess what? More content. I hope it's good. It's not going to be good.
I'll be interested to see after you end up playing Tower of Beatrice which one you enjoyed more.
Yeah, I'm just a real glutton for punishment.
Yeah. Also,
and the big game this week.
Yeah,
big game this
possibly
week.
Game of the Year 2019. Possibly. If it's done well, which it won't be done well because it's Big Ben publishing it.
Oh,
but if it's done well, Bee Simulator coming out on Tuesday will be fantastic. We have a code coming in for review for that. I think we're all going to be doing a 3-person review.
Yeah, we're all abuzz about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. It's just like
it's gonna really sting if it's bad.
Yeah, honeycomb.
I feel like you're not even trying with your puns, Jin. Jeez.
I was really trying really hard to think of one, and then Matt came with two. I'm like, God damn it!
Okay, you know that.
No, we're done.
Is there any knobs and discos this week? That's unobtainables and discontinued achievements.
We have a couple of things in NBA games, in 2K16 games. Just some
servers going down, are they?
2K16 and 2K14 on the 360 are having some things shut down to do with my team. So achievements dropping there. Risk of Rain 2 has had an achievement fixed for chasing 20 hermit crabs off the edge of the map.
That sounds fun.
Like, I don't even care if anyone else wants to play that game. That's a fantastic name for it. That's a fantastic thing to do for an achievement. Chase 20 hermit crabs off a map. Sanctum 2 is completely dead, I think. I want to double check that that's the only online, yeah, so complete the end in a party of 4 and complete one level with 5 feats of strength enabled in co-op is dead. So co-op is just straight up gone, which means we should probably modify some of the other flags, but that's okay. Those are dead, so if you didn't get those done, that's unfortunate. Snooker 19's unlock all other achievements. Achievement is now fixed, and Felix the Reaper has had an unobtainable stuck on the completing all the time trials, and thus, because of that, the completing all the achievements achievement. So that one actually might work, we just don't know because a previous one's broken.
It's going to be super fun when they fix that and then find out the unlock all achievements achievement is broken.
I don't want to throw them under the bus and say that one doesn't work. It's just that you can't get that one yet, just by virtue of the nature of its requirements. So that, But that's all of that. We have a community question from Isak.
New listener to the show, Isak.
New listener, Isak. Isak Takama. Oh, you want me to read it?
Right,
Sorry.
Okay.
Isaac. Oh, it's Isaac. One. Okay, got it. Yep.
It's your boy Isaac.
It's my boy Isaac sending in another question from Japan.
What's he got?
Sometimes achievements can be a grind and or can be really boring to get, but I know that there are some that are a blast to get. If you can remember any, what achievements have you gotten that you thought were really fun to go for and achieve? Or what game has the funnest to attain achievements? Thanks. So I'll start it off with a game that a game that was genuinely fun, and I feel like the achievements didn't hamper that, at least. Like, they didn't necessarily make the game more fun, but they encouraged you to experience more of the game, and that, for me, made the game more fun. I've talked about it a fair bit on the podcast, but I love... Ori's great too, but Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon has in my opinion, up until, like, the last couple of achievements weren't great, but the majority of it is fantastic, and it encourages you to, like, play the game with all the different characters and unlock as much as you can and experience everything sort of that the developer has put in there. Like, you need to beat it with all 6 of the main characters. They added a character later in new DLC and didn't add achievements, which is unfortunate, but, like, it's a really good game, and I think the way that the achievement list was created only enhanced the fun that I had with that. I will attempt to think of, like, a specific achievement in another game that was really fun, but Enter the Gungeon was really good for me. Either of you think of a fun game to get achievements in?
Yeah, so I looked at this and I struggled to remember specific achievements that I really enjoyed getting. I can remember specific achievements I do not enjoy getting. But for me, the most enjoyable achievements are in games that I really enjoy. I really enjoyed almost all the achievements in Zombie Army Trilogy. I played that co-op online with my friends Kanchanaburi and Crackshot, who are over in Canada and America. And, I mean, that is a fantastic co-op game. And we're playing on, challenging to get it on the hardest difficulty and, all that kind of stuff. But the specific achievements in the game are also quite fun, like trying to kill 5 people with 1 sniper bullet. I remember being in the alleyway level, and I'm trying to line up 5 enemies with the headshot. I've got 3 or 4 or whatever. It's a lot of fun, that game. Child of Light is another one. I really enjoyed going through all the achievements in that game, purely because the game is really such a pleasure to play. And another one I thought about as well was Sunset Overdrive. And I know that I've mentioned in the past that collectibles suck, but in this game, because the traversal in the game is so much fun, it's enjoyable, therapeutic to go and track down all the different types of collectibles, and you can buy maps in the game which are quite cheap when you start getting money that show you where they all are, and so you're grinding and climbing and jumping and spinning and doing all this stuff to get them. I really enjoyed a lot, and the multiplayer achievements. I had a lot of fun going for those. I mean, there's a lot happening when you get up to, I think it's 8 people in an online game trying to get all those done, and when you're trying to get the maximum chaos to get those achievements, it's a blast. They're a lot of fun. What about you, Matt?
There's a few games I'm thinking. Mass Effect 2 had some really good achievements. They weren't... It was the sort of thing that encouraged you to just play through, do all the loyalty missions, use these powers. Like none of it felt too grindy or too difficult. Besides maybe the insanity achievement, which was quite challenging, but it allowed me to play the game the way I wanted to play it, which was to absolutely rinse all the content, just get the most out of it because I was so interested in that world and those characters. So it was that sort of perfect encouragement to do all that sort of stuff, which I probably would have done most of anyway, but just to make sure. The other one I think is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is fantastic game. But so many of those achievements are basically just like, hey, do these fun little things in the world that aren't related to the story at all. Like, you can get through most of that. I don't think you can get through most of the game with maybe only getting one of the achievements if you don't do any of the other stuff. I think that's probably a great example where it's stuff that's just a little off the beaten path or just fun little things that you can do. There's like a little whale watching thing. You sit down and watch that. You can.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And then there's the throw the ball in the well and make the person sad, or all this kind of stuff. And so it was that, and then maybe one other one is one of the ones that got me into achievements in the first place was the original Crackdown. Around the story was essentially just go and kill these enemies with guns, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't much to it. But a lot of them was, pick up this globe and throw it at 20 people. And that was the first time I'd seen them go, hey, here are some interesting, fun things you could do in the world. Collect these orbs, power yourself up, and do these weird little challenges. And then the announcer in the game would actually acknowledge that you got the achievement, which is the first time I'd ever seen that as well.
Oh yeah. There was that was in Strange Brigade as well.
Right.
The narrators mentioned something like, "Oh, that one's you would almost consider that an achievement," and then an achievement pops up or something. Yeah, it's
nice.
I like that. Were you done with yours, by the way? Because I picked it.
No, I think that's it's probably all the ones I can think of.
Portal 2 has a lot of really good achievements in it. You have your standard achievements for finishing the game and doing all that stuff, but the one that I enjoyed, and actually I still remember this to this day, but there was an achievement for finishing all the test chambers in the excursion funnels level in cooperative. And I remember playing with a woman from the UK, and we started at about midnight my time, and I reckon we're up till 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get this done. It might have even been later, but we were just trying and get it done. And, because I was tired, I was making some stupid mistakes, and we're like, just one more time. And to get it done, I remember, I think I was still living at home at that time. And just, that was before I moved out. And it was just like, yes, 5 o'clock in the morning, so yes, I got it. And waking up people in the house. But the achievements in there, taunting GLaDOS in front of the camera in each of the courses, performing all the gestures that you unlock in co-op, trying to do things in the game that aren't specifically tied to finishing the game is where I think achievements can really shine. It's like, hey, let me show you this really cool thing we put in a game.
Actually, one more example that I can think of that is the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Basically, it had one achievement per level, and it was some of them were just finish the level, but some of them were hey, that challenge that you do in the game? Here's another little extra bit on top to try and make things a bit more interesting.
Yeah. I could not think of anything. I think it was more just games I had fun with that the achievements weren't a chore because the game was so fun. So things like
King Kong,
We Were Here is a really good example. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Playing through the 3.5 or 4 times or whatever, it didn't really. It the last one was kind of, man, I wish this had worked the time before, but whatever, we just do it again. It didn't feel like a chore. It was So I don't know. There's a lot of games where achievements will drag down the game because of it. So whenever a game doesn't do that, I think it's a good list. Looking at you, Hyperdrive Massacre. 200-hour active grind.
Alright, well, thanks, Isaac. I mean, if you've got another question next week, send it in. We'll go through it as well. But we've got the milestones. So, Big L is currently on a 2,500 day achievement win streak. Fwath, is that how you say that? Fwath?
Fwath.
That's what I said both times. Yeah, 100 day achievement win streak. Chugsy 667. Was that a new person? Chugsy.
Yeah, Chugsy's relatively new. Yep.
Cool.
Also,
300,000 true achievement points.
Almost all of these are added myself, so I don't know if there actually are milestone tiers because our bot is having some issues at the moment because of the new site on the new upgrade to the site on TA. It's killed. I think they've killed off RSS feeds, which means the way that our bot was pulling the milestones is no longer working. I'm going to double check with Rich whether they definitely killed them or if they just reworked them in some way. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get that up and running through that. Otherwise, we'll have it up and running again in a different way, or I might just have to check it and our milestones are going to be all over the shop because I don't know what our tiers are. I don't pay attention to the podcast.
Yeah. Well, Space is the Grave has made 450,000 Gamerscore. ProfessorPluto, I'm on here. 450 games played.
Yeah, I figured such a small number needed to be.
Okay.
Needed to be admired. Look how small it is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can say that about yourself. Crunchflake, 6,000 achievements. One. Tatey.
What?
Tatey, 375 completed games. I just thought, what a great burn that was. AZ Mongoose, 550 games played. Chugsy's back. Chugsy 667, 1,000 achievement win streak. Valax C, 200,000 gamer score. And Jimbot UK is now in the top 10 of the True Achievement leaderboard for Xbox One action.
Did you know?
It's a big genre.
Did you know? He's done that milestone every hour since like 2:30 this morning. If you look at our milestone feed channel, and because that thing broke for whatever reason, it keeps popping this up, and it's highlighted red, so it's bolded. So it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's great. Yeah, those are the milestones.
Yeah, so if you do notice you're missing out on milestones,
in the next couple
let us
episodes.
Know. We'll be working on it, getting everything, trying to get it fixed up as soon as we can. But if there's anything that's missed, please let us know.
I will do my best, but I'm not. I'm also human and lazy, so reading is hard, and when there's big numbers, get bored about halfway through. And it's just 450. Oh, that's not very good. When there's actually 1,000 gamer score, you know.
All right. Right. If you want to get in touch with us by email, you can send it through to hello@realgamerscore.com. For the trivia, for those playing along at home, that is Isaac's preferred way of getting in touch with us for questions for the show. So, by all means, send us an email. You can send us, DMs, or you can get at us on Twitter at @RealGamerscore. You can once again find the link to join our Discord at discord.io/RealGamerscore, and the Patreon page is over at patreon.com/RealGamerscore. All right, episode 65, just about done. If you want to help us out, you can subscribe on iTunes and other podcast platforms. You can leave a review, tell your friends about us, retweet us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube and Patreon if you desire. Kirby, if someone wants to get in touch with you directly, how do they do so? It's Professor Pluto 1 on Twitch, right? Yeah. Okay, thanks, Matt. What about you?
Well, I mean, I don't know about episode 65 because we recorded that last week, but episode 66, you can get in touch with me on Neomaster, on True Achievements, or on the Discord, or on Xbox Live, or via Smoke Signal, or Carrier Pigeon, or Candygram,
Telegrams, yeah,
or gloves slapped across. Yeah, I was gonna say gloves slapped across my face to challenge me to a duel. I mean, look, I just love communicating. You just get in touch with me, and I'll tell you what I think.
Alright, Kirby, if someone does want to get in touch with you for real, and they don't have a Twitch account, how do they get in touch with you?
They can find me on Xbox Live, on True Achievements, on Discord, or on Twitter at ChinDocta, ChinDocta. They can also find me this weekend and the following weekend on Mixer. I'll be streaming for Extra Life. I'll be doing my 24-hour stream this coming Saturday from UTC time. It'll be 8 a.m. UTC. So 8 a.m. UTC is my start time on the Saturday, and I'll be finishing 8 a.m. UTC on the Sunday. So that'll be a fun little stream. We're still working out what I'm going to be playing. It's either I know I'm not going to be playing kiddie games because absolutely no one's voted for that. It's either going to be something good I've been looking forward to, or absolute trash for 24 hours. It's come down to those
Scary
two.
Games wasn't an option?
No, Scary Games is going to be the following week. Because I wanted all of Extra Life to be themed, like for the whole stream, and I can't do Scary Games in the sun. Like, that's not scary. Like, that doesn't work. So...
Do you know what? Start in the morning, like when the sun comes up, with the least scary games, and then as the day goes on...
That's the thing. All of them are ranked the same for me.
Games.
Descending into horror.
Too much fright.
I played Dead Space 2. Everyone who was there for my Dead Space 2 stream, I played Dead Space 2. I pushed the elevator button, turned around to watch the monsters, the elevator dinged, and I pooped my pants. Like, the elevator I called made a noise behind me, and I crapped myself. Like,
oh boy.
So, yeah, the horror stream, Scary Game stream, will be the following weekend. And it'll be sundown to sun up. So if I had to guesstimate a time, roughly 9:30 UTC is my start time. I don't know when I will stop. It'll be about 9:30 PM UTC. So 9:30 AM is roughly 12 hours of night time I get. So we'll see. Sundown to sun up.
What are they in Australia times?
In Australia times, it'll be about 6:30, 7 o'clock Australian Central Standard Time, so about 8:30 Melbourne time for the horror stream.
AM?
PM? Because,
PM? Okay.
Yep, because that's not for the horror stream. For the
I meant for the extra
life stream, I'll be starting at 5:30 PM Australian Central Standard Time, so 7 o'clock Melbourne time.
7 o'clock on Saturday night.
Yep. I have a goal of $400. That's my target, because I had a goal of $150 last year, and I doubled that. There will be I haven't worked out exactly what prizes I'm doing. I think I'm going to be giving a $25 gift card for every $100 I make, just period. So if I make $1,000, I'm giving away 10 gift cards. I'm also going to match the first 400. So up to my target, I'm going to match for Extra Life.
Woo! Sounds great.
Wow, so, there you go.
If we hit my target, that's $400 extra coming from me straight into Extra Life. So yeah, it'd be a good stream. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully that'll kick off me getting back into streaming more consistently as well. So yeah, and I chose my start time specifically so that I only had to deal with the dark really early on, and it wasn't like getting to the 20-hour mark and it's dark and I can see that it's dark outside, so my body's like, you need to sleep now, buddy. It'll be like daytime when I'm nearly finished, so it'd be great. And still, I can go to sleep at 5 o'clock and be fine.
Yeah.
Alright. But please, join in. There'll be links in my Twitter to my stream. There'll be links in the Discord. I'm sure IGS will retweet and host me. Hopefully, I'll be able to get TGN to host me on Mixer at least for an hour. Because there's a couple people going this coming weekend, but it'd be really good to, even for a little bit, to see as many of you as I can in there. And besides, you can all mock me when I'm 20 hours in and like dying. But yeah, Alex,
it's tough those last couple of hours. I reckon
the last 4 hours for hunger is mainly it, because you get you eat throughout, but you just get so hungry towards that last 4 hours. But yeah, where can we find you, Alex?
If someone wants to get in touch with me, you can find me on Xbox, Twitter, Mixer, and True Achievements, and in Discord, it's ProfessorPluto. And you can find me on Twitch, ProfessorPluto1. Alright, 66, all done.
Full of
life?
Sticks.
Full of, yeah, okay. Alright, it was a long one today, that's what she said. We'll get out of here, see you later.